Can we hear? We got sound. Are we good with sound, people? How do you like that picture, boy? Okay. Can we hear? There we go. Times word. What's up, people? Let's let the regulars filter in. How we doing, people? The sound is going to be a little off. I am getting a new mic, in process of a new microphone, and it just hasn't come in the mail yet. So we are ready to rock and roll. Today's theme is Karens. I got Karen court. I got Karens fighting in Judge McNally's court. Well, it's just a judge trial. So let's get to the video clips. I just want to say thank you to Kitchen Court Cases, Tommy V, Sean, Monica, My Crazy Life, Grim, everybody who sends me constant clips. If I don't play yours today, it will be my next live or in my next video drop. How we all doing? Happy Saturday. Let's get rocking and rolling. How we doing, people? And again, if the sound's a little off, I apologize. The microphone is coming on its way. Nice HD mic. So today's just a little messed up with the sound. But let's rock and roll. Here we go. First up, this is from about an hour ago in Reno. Here we go.
Rebecca Harrison, and we have Cynthia Fontaine. And Stephen Flood, I'm sorry.
So, Your Honor, as Rebecca Harrison comes up, I think that's the first name he called, I do have my concerns about her mental health.
Competency, you mean?
I'm tired.
Ms. Harrison, how are you doing this morning?
I'm tired. What do you want?
Ma'am, do you understand why you were arrested?
No, I just you figure it out.
Did we just figure it out? Okay.
I'm fine to have lunch when I got down.
Okay. Presiding at NAMS, I share Mr. Conway's concerns here. I'm inclined to have a competency evaluation ordered in this case, and then bring her back once we get the eval. Application refused to answer. I'm going to appoint a legal defender in the interest of justice, at least temporarily, until we figure out what's going on here. I'm going to order a competency evaluation, and we'll bring her back once we have the results of that evaluation. Anything from the city on this one?
No, Your Honor, I would not oppose, of course, a competency evaluation.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's make sure she gets protected there. All right, next matter, please.
So the next matter.
Oh, come on. That was fantastic. I know she's got some mental stuff going on, but yikes. All right, we got a couple hot mic clips that I found. Oh, boy. Funny hot mic clips. Let's get it going. All right. Let's do it up.
Case disposed of at District Court 19. That's all that it says.
Yep, that's the co-defendant.
Okay, so why is he, if it was disposed of, why does this information even showing a defendant number, the two defendant?
I have no good answer for that. I'm gonna need some time to figure that one out.
Well, you got till the 31st of March. All right, Emma, I'm not going anywhere. Give me a minute. Just.
Judge, does that conclude Mr. Driver's case? Mr. Driver, you may leave.
Thank you, sir.
Turn off your mic. Turn off your mic.
Sir, what's your name?
All right, that was great. It was a. Oh my! Did you hear that burp? And Goggins like, all right, what's your name? Goggins doesn't let anything faze him. All right, here we go. Judge Grandma is getting a little perturbed at people. She is not feeling this next defendant at all. And do we notice her Whitney Houston hairdo? Ooh, boy. Ooh, boy. Here we go. Let's
Ooh. All right, what we getting ready to do?
Skipper?
Denzel Skipper.
Okay, is he where?
He's in the back, Your Honor.
Okay, I saw some paperwork on him. Let me pull it up. Yeah, I did see something. Did I lose it?
It's a pre-sentence report.
Okay. Oh, here it is. I saw it early this morning before we even went on the record. I hope Emma's not talking to us.
Oh, case number, you ready?
I'm ready.
Ready.
Case 23-0660. The people of the state of Michigan versus Denzel Skipper, scheduled today for sentencing. Appearances, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Actually, good afternoon. John, KCP number 56162 on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon. May it please this most honorable court, Reno Mitchell appearing on behalf of the defendant. We're ready for sentencing, Your Honor.
Sir, state your name for the record. All right.
Your Honor,
go ahead.
We've had a chance to go over the pre-sentence report. It is factually accurate. There are no amendments, deletions, or corrections at this time, and we will ask that you follow the sentence agreement.
Does he have a matter pending in Livingston County?
Yes, he does, Your Honor. I believe he's scheduled for sentencing on the 23rd in that matter, March 23rd.
Do you have any idea what is anticipated in connection with that sentencing? Or what the case is for, anything?
Mr. Skipper said he was going to get probation on that matter. He was very anxious to get back to Livingston during this case because he didn't want to miss his sentencing. So I believe it's for probation. Isn't that correct? Yes. Mr. Skipper.
What's the charge in that case?
Sorry about that, man. What was failed to return stolen property, probation or county cat, which is 12 months.
Are they sentencing them from the jail on Zoom, or will they take him up or take him to Livingston? How have they been proceeding with this case?
They left him here for us to handle the matter so far, Your Honor, and the way they scheduled everything, hopefully he can be back in Livingston by the 23rd.
I want him in inpatient.
He has a sentencing date of the 23rd, so do you want to give him a turn-in date for inpatient?
Now, I think I want to give him a bond and tell him to come back after the 23rd, because if he doesn't come back, then I can send the deputies to go get him because he hasn't been sentenced yet.
Okay. It's up to the court.
I want him in inpatient. He's got that. When I read that report, they were talking about fentanyl. One will die from fentanyl. You do know that, sir.
Yes, and I do apologize, ma'am, and I had a job and everything, and I know I promise I'm not making no excuses. What I did was wrong, but I'm not gonna try that no more. I just thought that I could do an outpatient so I could continue my job and be with my daughter. But
Whatever.
that was my first time, ma'am. I ain't been in trouble.
Whatever.
You guys hear me?
So you not dead.
No,
Well, you're not gonna die on me without me making an effort. And that's the bottom line. Now I'm gonna put you on a bond. You decide to go out there and get some fentanyl and kill yourself before I see you again. I did the best I could do.
and I apologize for that too, ma'am. But I promise
Mic
that
check,
you won't
mic
have to
check,
worry about
mic
that.
check.
Don't show back up.
I can't hear you. Can you repeat that, ma'am?
I said, don't show back up. When I give you this date to come back in,
Here we go.
we can have this conversation again. Now you promised me what you not gonna do. Let me see what you will do. Now, when is his sentencing date in Livingston County?
The 23rd of March, Your Honor.
Emma, sometime after the 23rd, since he's supposed to be getting probation.
Yes, ma'am. So, one moment.
Counsel, I hope you talk to your client and you
Yes,
explain to him he can come back for sentencing. He can prepare himself for inpatient. Maybe he gonna find himself at Detroit Recovery before I see him again. Maybe he'll convince me he doesn't need inpatient. Hint, hint.
Are you listening, Mr. Skipper?
Yes. So I'm not getting sentenced today.
No, sir. She's gonna give you another date, but she's talking to you right now, so I just need you to listen.
I said, if when you come back here, you can prove that you have been doing outpatient treatment at Detroit Recovery Project, I might consider not putting you in inpatient. If you don't show back up here, I'm gonna issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm gonna have deputies come and get you, assuming you have fentanyl yourself to death.
I understand, ma'am.
April 3rd, Your Honor.
Emma, I need another date. I'll be getting back from out of the country.
Okay.
What's good for you?
Maybe that Friday. That'll work.
Nope, that's Good Friday.
The following week, let's see. 1 second, how about April the 12th?
Emma, you got the paperwork with the address on it for Detroit Recovery? You got the phone number?
I'll make sure it gets it.
I'm gonna give him a $30,000 personal bond. When is his court date?
March 23rd.
To come back here is April 12th.
All right. Give him a $30,000 personal bond. Now he either gonna fentanyl himself out. He gonna get over to Detroit Recovery. I'm gonna send the deputies for him, or he gonna do inpatient. Balls in his court. Let's see how he play it.
I promise I won't let you down, ma'am. I'm gonna turn myself into the outpatient.
I'm done now.
Thank you.
Make sure he get the paperwork for Detroit Recovery Project. Phone number.
What is it?
Yeah, she's worse than Bryant.
Look,
Overall,
Detroit Recovery is outpatient.
I know. Okay, how long can I keep you moving sitting there?
Wait a minute.
Because I've never been in there before.
Oh, you call and then
she's constant attitude all the time. Bryant, you need to do something to get her PO'd, or else she's sweet. Bryant's usually sweet unless you get her PO'd. What's up, Addie? How we doing, everybody? Thank you, Laura, for the gifted memberships. right, let's go. Shaquille O'Neal is now a part of the membership team. One of the greatest names in LawTube. Shaquille O'Neal. Every time I see it, I still laugh. It's simple, stupid, and sweet. All right, here we go. Let's go to this is a little serious. I just thought this was a serious charge. And then the lawyers go at it a little bit in El Paso. Judge Un it's crazy. Here we go, Sean. Here we go for 1 month. Here we go.
Were afraid to say anything to their father, and the defendant does have a criminal history, and that criminal history includes an assault on the mother of the
2021 assault, family violence, right?
Yes, and that is the mother of the children in this case.
Okay, now Ms. Calero, let me ask you this question: where are the children right now?
They're with the mother, Your Honor.
They him and the mom together anymore? Or they're not together anymore.
They're not together, Judge, and that's part of the problem here. My client has a new love interest.
Okay.
And since the new love interest has arisen, these allegations were born. I saw the
Your Honor,
forensic.
I'm sorry. That's an inappropriate comment to make here. The children are the ones that made the outcry.
Ms. Carmen, I'm speaking. I have the floor. You can make an objection, but I'm speaking to the court. You had your
It's on hearing. Everything comes in, guys.
right.
Go
You
ahead.
had your say.
All right. Ms.
So-
Carmen, you can rebut later on. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Ms. Go ahead.
So, Your Honor, I also saw the forensic interview. Long on, I'm uncomfortable. It made me uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. Short on detail. Very defensible case. And so we're asking that the court consider my client's longstanding ties to this community, the fact that his family is here in support of him, the fact that he has counsel, the fact that he's not a flight risk, the fact that he does not live with the children, and the court can put in safeguards regarding contact with the kids. And we, in fact, we don't even want contact with them.
Ms. Carmen, any reply you wish to give?
Well, to renew that this is the allegation that these children are making it up. I find that a little bit offensive here.
Irrelevant.
While the daughter states it was her buttocks and she was uncomfortable, the son specifically states that his penis was flicked several times, that his dad would flick it back and forth. And in the forensic video, he shows on the attempt on the doll that they have there exactly how it happened. So I think that these bonds are more than reasonable for the safety of these children.
And anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, court's gonna do a reduction. It's gonna be 80,000 cash or corporate, 250,000 PR. Intensive level supervision. Defendant's not allowed to have any contact at all with our two complaining witnesses, MA and GA, okay? Cannot go anywhere where they live, where they go to school, have any contact, person, phone, et cetera, okay?
That'll be
basically the same conditions that he got when he got booked. Those are gonna be the exact same conditions of the bond order, okay, Rosa? Can you just follow the same conditions, please? Okay.
Yes, Judge.
Thank you. Sir, those are the conditions of your bond. If you post this bond and get out, you better follow these conditions. If you violate any of these conditions, sir, you can go back to jail. And I assure you that probably the just from the 243 is going to say probably a very, very, very high bond, sir, okay? So it is very important that you follow these conditions, report when you're supposed to report, and absolutely no contact at all, sir, okay?
Yes, Your
Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. We appreciate it.
All right, Ms. Calero, your excuse.
Thank
Judge, may I interview?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, Ms. Martinez.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Acosta, is your address 4863 Atlas, apartment 35?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your phone number the 915-329-5407?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have an email address, sir?
Yes, that is Acosta Steve9@gmail.com.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And could we use your spouse, Miss Maria Villanueva, as an alternative contact?
Yes, ma'am.
Is her phone number? I'm so sorry. Is her? No, go ahead.
All my family members could be contacted, yes, ma'am. But
Okay.
you could go ahead and Miss Mariana Villanueva. Her phone number is 915-256-5195.
And then your brother, Mr. Luis Acosta, at 915-276-8186?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you, Ms. Martinez. All right, sir.
Thank you.
So, sir, before you get released, you're gonna get a piece of paper. It's gonna have a phone number. You have to call that number, I think, by Wednesday or next week.
No, pickle flicking is not good in any state. Stay in jail. That was awful. I told you that wasn't a laughing one. That was serious. Judge Un, that one was serious. It usually doesn't get serious in El Paso. What up, Peach? How we doing? These are my court people during the week. What's up, everybody? Okay, so I took a poll, and the poll was not unanimous, but Karen's won. So what I did was I scoured the internet and I found our topic and our favorite thing: court, judges, and Karens. So I found a couple minutes, good clips from a site that channel that I follow, Karma. It's awesome. It's all just Karen karma videos and all other kind of karma videos. And this one, he has a whole playlist on Karens and judges. So I found this is the best one that he had so far. So I hope you guys enjoy.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury?
I would like to call.
Ma'am, stop. I know you want to control this room, but this isn't Burger King. When the sign changes to Burger King, you can have it your way. Right now, this is my courtroom, and you will answer my questions. Stop. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury? Yes or no? Are you going to tell the truth? All right, I'll take that as silence. I understand her attorney is on here. Where is her attorney?
He's the big right now.
Again, say anything again without telling me you're going to tell the truth, and I will hold you in contempt of court for 93 days. Contempt carries with it 93 days and or $7,500. You will not act disrespectful in this court.
Her behavior landed her a $7,500 fine and 93 days in jail for contempt of court. Next, a lady was sentenced to 3 to 15 years in prison after driving under the influence and causing a fatal crash, killing a father of 6, along with injuring the mother. The victim's family is also in the courtroom, and as a victim impact statement written by the children of the now deceased father is read, the convicted woman's mother can be heard laughing. Check out how the judge handles this situation.
Casal has been found guilty of driving under the influence, causing a head-on collision that killed 31-year-old Jerome Zerker and severely injured his fiancée, 31-year-old Brittany Johnson. Prior to sentencing, the court will hear a powerful impact statement from the victim's children, read by his sister, Doreen Zerker.
Amanda, look what you did to my life. You ruined everything I had, like my dad's life.
Amanda seems devastated by Doreen's words. But Judge Kiana Lillard apparently hears some snickering from Casal's family sitting in the gallery. That's the defendant's mother, Donna Casal.
Ma'am, you are being taken into custody for criminal contempt. Your disruptive and disrespectful behavior disrupted today's proceedings, and you, ma'am, are going to the Wayne County Jail for 93 days for direct criminal contempt. Anybody else want to go? Try it.
After orders restored, Amanda Casal is sentenced.
It'll be the sentence of this court that you will serve 3 to 15 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. If there's nothing further, that concludes this matter.
After a night in jail, the not-so-remorseful mother appears in front of the same judge and had this to say.
As for Amanda's mother, Donna, she spends the night in
Best part, it was a Michigan court.
jail and appears before Judge Lillard the next morning. Donna seems to have learned a serious lesson from just one night behind bars.
Thank you.
Ms. Coates, is there something you'd like to say?
Yes, I deeply apologize for what I did. I was under a lot of stress. And I deeply apologize for what I did in your court. I just needed to get out. And it's been very hard for me this year, and I know for the other family. And I'm so sorry for what I did. And I know it was wrong, and I apologize.
Her apology seemed to have worked as she was let home the same day. Next we have Michael Backman, an Ohio magistrate abusing his powers to the maximum. He was presiding over a trial when he heard a commotion coming from the hallway. The commotion was coming from Cassandra Jackson, and she was allegedly screaming at the top of her lungs because she had been told she was 30 minutes late to file court papers. The judge then walks out and takes matters into his own hands.
Hey, you, get back here! That's a magistrate in full judicial robe storming out of his courtroom and chasing down a woman. Watch as he takes off after her, running through the hallways. When he finally catches up with her, he orders her back to his courtroom. And when she makes a wrong turn, he puts the long arm of the law on her shoulder, steering her in the correct direction. Inside his courtroom in Cincinnati, the magistrate sits the woman down in the jury box and then proceeds to sentence her to 3 days in jail for disrespectful and disruptive behavior.
After the incident, this Karen of a judge was forced to resign and Cassandra was released after 2 days in jail. Moving on now, not all Karens are white, entitled, middle-aged women. Some are young and entitled, like this girl in court here. This girl's either stupid spoiled, on drugs, or both. After smiling and laughing throughout her whole hearing, she says adios.
This one got me into court too. I know a lot of you have seen this one. This girl, and obnoxious.
To the judge as it comes to an end. So the judge calls her back and doubles her $5,000 fine, making it $10,000. After hearing this, she turns around, swears at, and flips the judge off. In relation to her disrespect, the judge then hands her 30 days in jail.
Minnesota, you're being charged with possession of Xanax, B-A-R-S. I don't know what that is. What is that?
Xanax bars, how they're referred to.
Xanax bars.
Okay, and do you own any property of value, a house, a car, bank account, significant amounts of jewelry?
Yes.
What do you own?
I own a lot of jewelry, all right.
Well, how much would you say your jewelry is worth? It's not a joke, you know. We're not in a club now. Be serious about it.
I'm serious about it.
You're being very. I can see you're serious, all right.
It's worth
Ma'am,
money.
have you had any kind of drugs in the last 24 hours?
Actually, no.
Bye-bye.
Adios.
Come back, ma'am. Come back. Come back. Give me the paper again. Count one would be 10,000.
Are you serious?
I am serious. Adios. Come back again.
Peter, what are you doing? Crack?
Come back again. Bring him back again. I believe I heard you saying to...
Yes, I did. I'm not going to the...
I believe you... Did you say...
Actually, I
Did you say that?
Yes, sir, I did.
Oh, you did say that? I find you in direct criminal contempt. 30 days in the county jail.
Today's final Karen is Karen Stevens. Karen had an ongoing feud with her previous attorney Paul Nicoletti. Karen claimed that Nicoletti had petitioned the court for a personal protection order against her over accusations of stalking, so Karen's here to fight the order.
Find the case of Nicoletti versus Stevens, case number 0672178-2PH.
Good afternoon, Judge. Karen Stevens, in pro per for my motion for sanctions against Mr. Nicoletti for this vexatious and frivolous PPO.
I'm sorry, on this what?
I have a motion for sanctions against...
I know that. And the purpose of the sanctions are based on what?
It was a frivolous and vexatious PPO based on nonsense.
Thank you.
I am not stalking Mr. Nicoletti.
I haven't signed a PPO.
If you didn't catch that, the personal protection order that Karen is referring to hasn't even been issued yet.
His petition for a PPO. Let me...
Okay, were you served?
No, I wasn't, but may...
No, you may not. How can you ask to sanction someone when you haven't even been served?
That's the point.
Stevens, do not interrupt me when I'm speaking, ma'am.
I have a constitutional right to be heard.
Had I issued a PPO, you would have a basis to be before me. I did not issue a PPO. He did not pursue his right to a hearing on the PPO. You were never served, and here you are taking up my time so that you want me to chastise him and make him pay money? No, ma'am. Your relief is denied, and in addition to that, I am sanctioning you with costs of $500.
Thank you. I knew it was fixed.
I beg your pardon?
I knew it was fixed.
This story, however, doesn't end here. Due to a clerical error, Karen is back before Judge Anderson once again, 4 months later.
When the clerk's office attempted to correct the mistake they made, you basically objected to your credit card company, and that brings you here today. Do you have the $495 that this is the balance owed?
But I did file an objection and an answer to this order to show cause that wasn't properly served, didn't have an affidavit of merit.
Ms. Stevens, do you have $495 with which to pay today?
I just said I have my credit card. I do not have cash.
Very well then, Ms. Stevens. You may go down to the clerk's office, pay $495 forthwith to take care of the $500 that this court assessed you the last time you were here.
I'm entitled to know what statutes or court rules you rely on to sanction me in the first place. That's part of due process.
After all this, Karen was not only ordered to pay the $500 in court fees, but Nicoletti's attorney fees as well. Unlucky Karen, karma just really is a bit.
This next one's from my man Tommy. Tommy, I know you're in the chat. Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Tupac. Thank you, Heather. Much appreciated. Let's rock and roll. This is a quick one, and then we're gonna get into the little Judge McNally Karen trial we had going on. Surprised no one saw that.
Put your hand up in the chat. It's a button.
Not going. All right, here we go. Technical difficulties. Here we go. So this one is from Kitchen Court Cases. I don't understand why this woman only has 75 subscribers. She drops awesome clips. Unbelievable. She's in the Discord. Her stuff is great. So if you go check her out, Kitchen Court Cases. She's always in the chat. She's always hanging out with us. And she has clips. She posts 3 or 4 times a day. She's fantastic. So this one's from her.
Vitale versus Procopio Vitale. Case number 2001-26998-DM. And case of Kaylee.
Doing something wrong. Of course. Why does this have to happen to me right now? Why does this have to happen to me right now? Live's going great. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. I guess I just gotta go to plan B. Here we go. Alright, so I don't know if you guys saw this one. This is a
Nicole Vitale versus Procopio Vitale.
Now it wants to roll? No, it doesn't.
Number 2001-26998-DM. And case of Kaylee Vitale.
Alright, it's not working, guys. Here we go. Let's get it going. Alright, so I'm gonna go to this one. So
Boyd,
if you didn't see this
for
one
hearing
yet,
on defendant's motion for sanctions for failure to
this one is a this is a clip that I got from Monica, and this one is it's a PPO, but it's also there's a PPO out on him/her, and it's about custody also and child support and everything. It is Pac-Man. Judge Pac-Man is on it. This is a good one. Sit back, relax, let's enjoy.
10 mediation in order to show cause plaintiff for failure to appear for mediation on February 13th, 2023, and 1/2-day hearing on all outstanding child-related issues pursuant to the Domestic Relations Scheduling Conference Order. Appearing at today's hearing via Zoom is the plaintiff, Seth Tucker, and the defendant, Emmy Ann Floyd with her attorney, Christopher Campbell, and we will take defendant's motion for sanctions and the order to show cause first. And Mr. Campbell, you may proceed.
Thank you. Your Honor, the motion, the written motion expresses the grounds for what we're seeking. I will note that Mr. Tucker has been blowing off all of the requirements of this case so far. He's been sanctioned previously for failure to file witness and exhibit lists and limited by your recommendation in the court's order in the proofs he can present. He subsequently failed to attend 2 mediations, both the child-related mediation and a property mediation scheduled for what, Monday, Tuesday? Scheduled for Monday. And he simply disregards what is inconvenient for him. And as a result, he ought to be limited and sanctioned. And we were asking for a specific sanction of barring him from testifying or presenting testimony in this matter. There are a few other things the court can do to require people to cooperate and follow the court's directions and basically proceed in due course. And so that's why I filed the motion. I'm kind of annoyed that he's at every step of the proceeding ignored proper procedures and orders of the court.
The mediation on February 13th, that was set for a Monday, and I know that you and your client appeared. I also know that plaintiff failed to appear. I guess my question is, Mr. Campbell, did your client, was she out any money as a result of having to go to that mediation on February 13th, which turned out to be useless?
No direct losses, no.
Okay, all right then. Mr. Tucker, what is your response to those issues today?
I would like to express the exhibit and witness list. The only did not
me.
I have witnesses. I know I should have done the exhibit list, and I am very meeting because I didn't have the money for it. I was waiting for my first paycheck, and I tried getting a hold of Mr. Campbell, but I couldn't exactly figure out how. I didn't have his phone number in my phone or anything, but yeah, that's the only reason I wasn't at mediation. Other than that, I've been at every single court hearing, every single court date for this, trying to see my daughter, because Emmy has been denying any chance my parents have tried, any chance I tried before she put a PPO on me to see my child, and she just denies and denies and denies.
Mr. Tucker, do you suffer from any kind of disability?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay, so I understand that mediation money, it's $125 to start with to get into conflict resolution services, and I know that it's not cheap, but at the same time, these are really important matters that need to be addressed. And because you didn't show up to the mediation, they didn't get addressed. And now, unfortunately, the court's got to make the decision and take it out of the hands of the parents, where really these decisions should be made. So, I mean, it's right. Frankly, and Mr. Tucker, I mean, I think I've heard your reasoning. You indicate you didn't have the money, but at the same time, you don't have a disability. I mean, it appears that you are a healthy young person, and I would imagine you have the ability to come up with $125.
This isn't me. This was the court.
I find that you are in violation of the court's order to attend mediation, and that you are in contempt of court on that basis. You are ordered to pay $125 to conflict resolution services within 30 days. That's essentially their administrative and cancellation fee. And you are going to be sanctioned an additional amount of $100, which will have to be paid to the defendant for her inconvenience in showing up to this mediation, which turned out to be a total waste of time. And defendant will be compensated into that amount through the child support order whenever that gets entered. as either a debit or a credit. I don't know who the payer is going to be, so that remains to be seen. So that's my order on those two issues. As far as the request of defendant that plaintiff be prohibited from testifying himself and that he be prohibited from cross-examining the defendant and the defendant's witnesses, this court is going to deny that request. It seems that in this court's opinion, it would be an overly broad and severe sanction in light of the offense that has occurred in this case. This court feels that a more targeted sanction would be appropriate, and that's what has been made today. So those matters are out of the way. We're going to move on to the evidentiary hearing regarding child-related issues. And it seems to the court that the most effective and efficient method of proofs here would be to allow defendant to go first, because she is represented by counsel, and counsel will be able to get things started here in a manner that is most efficient. So Mr. Campbell, did you wish to make an opening statement as to the child-related issues today?
Very briefly, Your Honor. Yes. I think the evidence will show that there's an established custodial environment with Ms. Floyd. By the way, just to make things clear, the case is designated Tucker versus Tucker, but Ms. Floyd will testify that she's always used the name Floyd and continues to do so. And that's how I've known her, and that's how I tend to refer to her. The parties separated in July of 2022. And since that time, since July, the child Madison has lived solely with her mother, who's provided all of the child's care and guidance during that time. There is a PPO in effect, which has made it difficult for there to be parenting time arrangements. At any rate, the custody factors will also be the subject of testimony, and they will demonstrate that Ms. Floyd has provided proper care and custody for the child, and further that Mr. Tucker demonstrated a disregard for the child earlier and subjected the child to inappropriate actions, drunk driving, and an inappropriate housing environment. So we think that the custody factors will favor retaining custody in the established custodial environment with Ms. Floyd. We would ask that she be awarded legal and physical custody.
And as far as, a specific order of parenting time, what is Ms. Floyd asking for, with regard to that?
Bear with me for a moment while I remind myself. She wants a limited parenting time provision, no overnights at this point because of the child's age and the conditions in which Mr. Tucker is apparently living. She believes that there can be short periods of parenting time with conditions placed on them regarding use of alcohol, safe and sanitary surroundings, and protection from loud noises that she'll testify about.
I got bots. We're big time, baby. Tinder chat.
I think that's it. Basically, she thinks that it's appropriate to have a period of reintroduction before there's more extensive parenting time. So it ought to begin with short and supervised encounters, and then graduating into more extended ones.
Okay, and then as far as the PPO, does it permit the parties to communicate regarding child-related matters at all?
It permits me from talking to Emmy at all, but it does not permit me from seeing my daughter.
Okay, well, I can't speak with Emmy whatsoever, indirect contact or direct contact whatsoever with Emmy. Okay.
That's what the PPO states to me, is what I was told by the Michigan State Police when I got a call.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Campbell. All right, Mr. Tucker, what do you intend to prove today?
I would like to state on the fact of a safe and clean environment. My parents' homes are very clean and safe. I don't know where Emmy is getting her information that she has put into court on my mom's house being a mess. Also, I would like to state that Emmy has lied to the court, stating that she does not drink, smoke, or use marijuana because she has used all of those three things while she was with me and after our daughter was born. And yes, Mr. Campbell, there was one time I drove Madison and Emmy home from a party. I had drank 2 or 3 beers at most, then slept for 4 hours in my truck, and then woke up and ate food. I made sure I was sober before I drove, and I had somebody have my keys until they knew I was sober, and it was not a party. So I would like to know how I'm bringing my daughter around unsafe environments and driving drunk with her when everything I've done for my daughter is for her safety. Because to be honest, I don't care what happens to me. The only thing I care about is what happens to my little girl.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Tucker. And Mr. Campbell, you may call your first witness.
And I will call Emmy Floyd, please.
All right, Ms. Floyd, I'm going to swear you in. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You can lower your hand. Mr. Campbell, your witness.
Ma'am, please state your full name for the record.
Emmy Ann Floyd.
And how long have you used that name?
My entire life.
Okay, and you want to retain that name, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And as a preliminary matter, is it correct that you're pregnant now?
Yes.
And do you know the estimated due date?
May 19th.
And is Mr. Tucker the father of this child?
No.
And the child was in fact.
If you missed it, Dad is transitioning to dad/mom. So that's why we hear like the Kermit the Frog thing going on. So that's why it gets a little confusing. This lawyer is so confused by it. He gets so confused. I don't know what's going on. 227 in the chat and rising. I'm going to shut up and let this play.
Conceived after you separated, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. When did you separate?
July.
Year?
2022, I believe.
Okay, that's last, that right? Where since that?
I'm sorry, I was not able to hear that.
I wonder if Mr. Tucker could mute himself.
So Mr. Tucker, I think we're getting a lot of wind in the background right now. So could you could you mute your device while we're taking the testimony of Miss Floyd? Okay.
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 Ma'am, once again, you have a daughter named Madison, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And what's her age?
Just over a year.
And where has she lived since you separated?
With me.
And what's the location?
My mother's house in Elmira, Michigan.
And during that time, since the separation of the parties, who has provided for Madison's needs?
I have.
Food?
I have as well.
Shelter?
Me, along with the help of my mother. She took
Medical
us.
care?
I have.
Who's been the primary person providing guidance for your daughter?
I have.
Has Mr. Tucker visited your daughter at any time since you separated?
No.
Has he had any opportunities to do that?
Yes.
Before you separated from Mr. Tucker, who was attended to your baby's daily needs?
I was.
Did Mr. Tucker provide assistance with things like guidance and diaper changing and things of that sort?
No.
Okay. If we look at the question of love and affection between the child and the parents and the emotional ties and guidance for the child. What are your bonds of love and affection with your daughter?
Could you rephrase the question?
What are your
Please.
bonds of love and affection with your daughter?
They're very close. She looks to me quite often for guidance, care, and many other things.
Okay. How would you describe your emotional ties?
Good, very good.
What do you do in terms of providing guidance for your daughter?
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble understanding the question.
Okay. As a parent, do you try to provide guidance for your daughter in terms of proper behavior and things of that sort?
Yes.
How do you do that?
I don't smoke, drink, or anything like that around my daughter. I do not use foul language, and I do my best to encourage others to do so.
Okay. Have you tried to involve Mr. Tucker in your daughter's life when you were together?
Yes.
How did you try to involve him?
Trying to teach him how to feed her, change diapers, play with her,
Did he
just
seem
spend
it?
any time with her at all.
Did he take opportunities to do those things?
Not very often, no.
Why not?
How do I say this? He was pursuing other things, or he was working.
What kind of other things did he pursue?
Marijuana. Marijuana mostly.
Okay. How did that involve him? What did he do?
He pursued marijuana.
Sometimes after work he would sit out in his truck for a good couple hours smoking, or spend a lot of time out on the front porch smoking.
Okay. If he was not in his truck or on the porch smoking, what else did he engage in?
Mostly smoking.
Mostly what?
Smoking.
Okay. Did he engage in other activities during the time he was smoking?
Yes. A couple of times I was at home by myself with the baby while he was out at parties drinking.
Okay. If your daughter was feeling uncomfortable or needed parental support, who would she reach out to?
Me.
And you've indicated previously that you provided food, clothing, and housing for her and medical care.
Yes.
And you've done that since you separated?
Yes.
How much has Mr. Tucker contributed to her support?
Not at all since the separation.
Have you received any financial support?
From him or in general?
From him.
No.
And has he provided any in-kind support, such as providing food or clothing for your daughter?
No.
And you've indicated you're living with your mother at this time.
Yes.
Do you expect to remain there for the foreseeable future?
Yes.
And how long have you been living in that home?
Since the separation in July.
Is this an adequate home for yourself and your daughter?
Yes.
Any problems with heat or shelter?
No.
Do you have enough room?
Yes.
Is it clean and orderly?
Yes.
Do you have any concerns about health conditions there?
No.
Do you know anything about where Seth is living now?
No, I do not.
When you were together with him, where were you living?
We lived at my mom's up until Madison was born, and shortly after until she was a month old. Then we ended up in his dad's in Bel Air, and a few months before our separation, his mother's in Mansalona. We moved around quite a bit.
What was his mother's home in Mansalona a suitable environment for the child?
No, the floors are concrete, which the floor in our bedroom was concrete, which made an unsafe environment for Madison. Quite often there was pet waste on the floor, and it ended up on our clothing quite a bit.
When you
along
say
with pet and along with pet hair, which caused some allergy issues for Madison.
Okay. You said pet waste. You mean feces?
Yes, feces and urine.
Okay. What kind of pets were in the home?
Cats, dogs.
Multiple animals?
Thank
Yes, sir.
you.
Okay. And in that home, what space did you occupy?
A room downstairs in the basement,
Okay.
which had no heat, might I add. We had to use a mini heater in order to keep warm.
And in your current household, the one you're living in now, who else resides there?
My mother, my mother's brother, my younger sibling, Alex, and myself and the child.
Okay, so you have a mother, a brother, and an uncle there?
Yes, sir.
And is there any problem with them residing in the home and being good examples for your daughter?
No, there is not.
Do you know who's residing in Seth's home now?
No, I do not.
Seth has already spoken out in trying to deny that what he thinks you're going to say about his behaviors. When you were together with Seth, was he engaging in smoking around the child?
There was some vaping, yes, but when it came to smoking marijuana, he smoked outside, but when he came back in, you can smell it.
Okay.
It was quite disgusting.
Did either of you drink alcohol when you had your daughter?
I did not.
Okay. Did Seth?
Yes,
Was that a problem?
it did cause some issues, yes.
Okay. Do you recall describing an incident where he drove with your daughter in the vehicle after drinking alcohol?
Yes.
Can you describe the incident?
I do not remember the date or times, but it was a party. He had driven us there. I didn't.
Did you know you were going to a party?
No, I did not.
Where did you think you were going?
A friend's house to hang out for a few minutes.
And so what happened?
He got very drunk, and
Was this at the friend's
if I
house?
remember correctly, no, it was in the middle of a field outside of Mansalona.
Okay, so you did not go to a friend's house?
No, we did not.
Okay. And whose choice was that?
Definitely not mine.
Was it Seth's choice?
Yes.
Okay, so you went to a field, and what happened?
Yes. He got severely drunk, passed out in his truck until 3 o'clock in the morning, at which I did not have the proper materials for my daughter, formula, things like that, because I thought we were only going to be gone for a few hours, and we ended up being gone until 3 o'clock in the morning. And if I remember correctly, someone else had to drive us home.
Okay, so Seth did not drive your daughter home?
No.
Okay, has he ever driven with your daughter in the vehicle when he had been drinking?
No.
Okay. Did you express some concerns about language?
Yes, very much so.
What are your concerns?
He and his brother frequently use the N-word, and I'd prefer not to have that around my daughter. Along with listening to very inappropriate music with swearing and cussing.
Nichols?
That's in your daughter's presence?
Yes.
Okay. Do you engage in such activities yourself with your daughter?
No, sir, I do not.
Does your daughter have a problem with loud noises?
Yes.
And what is the problem?
Loud music. She can't be in the same room, or otherwise she gets really cranky and fussy, or really like tense, I've noticed.
And had you ever discussed that with Seth?
Quite a few times.
And what was the outcome of your discussions?
They really didn't get anywhere.
Okay. Ma'am, I wonder if you can describe your health status?
Healthy. No, no disabilities or inabilities that affect me taking care of my daughter.
Okay. What did Mr. Tucker tell you about his health status?
After a seizure in March, I do believe, he was taken to the hospital by ambulance. It became a frequent excuse.
If you look, the kid is in the back. The kid actually climbs around in the back. So if you're asking how the kid's age, she looks 4, 5 maybe. You definitely get a glimpse of the child.
An excuse for what?
Not helping with Madison or doing other things.
So how would he use that excuse?
That he felt he might have a seizure.
And so what would he decline to do?
A lot of the times hold her or help with her care.
Okay. Would you ask him to hold her or help with her care?
Yes, I would.
Okay, and that was what he gave as an excuse for not doing it?
Yes.
Okay.
That he was too tired.
Okay. Does your daughter get regular medical checkups?
Yes, she does.
Where does she get those?
At first we took her to the doctor's office in Bel Air. But then we switched over to Gaylord because the commute was easier.
Okay. Is she seeing the same physician or the same office regularly now?
Yes.
And is she meeting her growth and development milestones?
The doctor says
Okay, so now we're gonna go to. So what happened was, Pac-Man did something with the feed. So I edited it out for everybody. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick up where it gets juicy again. Gets a little boring, and I'm gonna pick up where in the next juicy part. And then I think there's another date for this also. So we'll see what's going on at the end.
no, she did not.
Yes, she did.
Okay, we're not going to argue back and forth. You can ask another question if you want.
Alrighty. Emmy, is it true or is it not true that I did drive back from that fire that night that we went to? You knew where we were going because I told you before we left the house and before we packed up Madison. And yes, I did drive us home.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. I
No,
remember.
Mr. Tucker, we're not gonna argue back and forth. You can ask a question if you want.
Your Honor, I'm just gonna stop asking questions.
Okay. And Mr. Campbell, did you have any redirect?
No, I don't, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Floyd. You're excused. And Mr. Campbell, any other witnesses?
No other witnesses at this time.
Okay. So, Mr. Tucker, it's time for your presentation. So I'm going to swear you in. And are you raising your right hand to be sworn?
Oh boy.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Tucker. You can lower your hand, and I guess, do you, I might have a few questions, I guess. Did you and Miss Floyd separate last July?
Yes, Your Honor, we did.
Okay, all right, let me just write that down. Okay, and are you comfortable giving your address right now? I can stop the YouTube live stream if you'd like.
I actually am comfortable giving it because this also refers to what Mr. Campbell and Mrs. Floyd
And
were
no,
talking about
believe me, I just want to know if I can have your address. That's all.
Yes. 407 Sunnyside Street, Mansalona, Michigan, 49659.
Okay. Okay, and how long have you been living at that address for?
I have been living there since 2 or 3 months before the divorce. So around April, May-ish, I want to say I moved into there from my father's.
So are you talking about April, May of last year?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And is that where you want mail sent, or do you have a PO box, or?
Yes, I would like the mail to be redirected to 407 Sunnyside Street because it has been going to my father's in Bel Air.
Okay. All right. And who all lives at that residence with you?
It would be me, my mother, my brother Mitchell, my mother's boyfriend John, and my brother Mitchell's girlfriend Melissa.
Okay. Now, is this the same? Is this the residence owned by your mom?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And is this the same residence where you and Miss Floyd once lived together?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And do you have any plans to move?
I do not. If I do, though, I will update the court and I will update Mr. Campbell and Mrs. Floyd on it too.
Thank you. Okay, so are you currently employed?
I am. I work for ALS, American Liner Systems, out of Kalkaska.
And what kind of work do you do for them?
We do plastic lining for like oil rigs and landfills and stuff like that, and agricultural sites. So we're plastic lining is the easiest way to describe it.
Okay. And how long have you worked for ALS?
This Friday will be my three-week mark.
Okay. And what is your work schedule? What has it been so far?
Monday through Friday, typically 8-hour days, if not longer. Weekends off.
Okay. Is your mom working right now?
She is. She works for the county. I do not know what her position is. I do know that she works in the office with Dan Bean, though.
And forgive me, but is that Antrim County?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And does she work Monday through Friday?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I assume she has transportation?
Yes, Your Honor, she does. And I will as soon as I have my truck fixed.
And when do you think that'll happen?
Probably here in the next month and a half or so, because I've got to get the money for my starter and then get a mechanic to put it in for me.
Okay. Do you have a driver's license?
I do, but I have to go to the Secretary of State and get a new card.
So is your current license expired?
It is not expired. It got not revoked, but suspended for a speeding ticket that ended up getting paid, and then it got reinstated. So now all I have to do is go get my new license card.
Okay.
So it is valid.
Have you purchased a car seat?
I do have a car seat. I have one at my mother's, and I'm pretty sure my father has bought a new one at his house.
All right. So prior to working for ALS, were you between jobs for a period of time?
Yeah. So I was working at Shanty Creek when me and Emmy started our separation. I worked there for about a month and a half after the separation, and then I ended up leaving that job. And I've been in between trying to get a job that will actually hire, because most places are saying hiring immediately and they're not. But in between that, yeah, I've been in between jobs since then.
Okay, and so if you separated in July of 21, does that mean
22, Your Honor?
22? I see. Okay. So I guess one thing I was confused about is if you separated last July, at the time you separated, just so I'm clear, were you two living at your mom's?
Yes, Your Honor, we
I
were.
see. Okay. All right, so then you left Shanty Creek, would you say by September of last year?
Right around the beginning of September to mid-September, yeah.
And what did you do for money between then?
And I'm going to pause because, unlike other streams, I do my research. Here is Dad. That is what we are looking at. Don't know what he looks like now, but that is Dad. Google, people. Come on. Doesn't take a lot of effort. I care. I care.
And 3 weeks ago.
To be honest, I've been living with my mother, so she's helped me with food costs and everything. I had everything for my truck insurance and everything up to date, so I didn't have to worry about it. Other than that, I've just bare minimum living in, other than now that I've been working, I've been getting monetary ways of taking care of myself. But other than that, my mom pretty much paid for my food while I was out of work.
Okay. And does your brother or your brother's girlfriend have any minor child?
No, Your Honor, they do not.
All right. So the court will take notice that you've been charged with first-degree home invasion and breaking and entering a building with intent. In
Your Honor,
file number.
Those charges actually got changed in my last court date. I took a plea bargain and it got changed to a larceny felony and a entering a home without homeowner's permission misdemeanor.
And did you enter a plea to the modified charges?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
And do you remember when you entered that plea?
Trying to think of when my last court date was. I do believe it was actually last month on the 18th.
Okay.
Yeah, last month on the 18th.
And have you been sentenced yet?
I have not.
Okay. Do you know when that will be?
No, I do not. I have not heard from the court on sentencing yet.
Okay.
But as soon as I hear something, I can again let you and Mr. Campbell and Mrs. Floyd know.
Okay. What are the current conditions of your bond?
Current conditions of my bond are to stay away a certain distance from the house, to stay away from two people involving the case, and no drug use or alcohol use, and I have been keeping up on that.
And are you subject to random drug and alcohol screening?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
And how long has that bond been in effect?
Since December, late December, just before Christmas.
And have you violated any of those bond conditions?
I think I may have one violation for a test where I went in and I did my breathalyzer and was trying to do my urine screen and was unable to produce a sample of urine. So I do believe I have at least a violation for that.
But you did your breathalyzer on that occasion?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
And what were the results of that breathalyzer?
All zeros. They have all been zeros.
Are you currently seeing any kind of a counselor?
I am not, because I do believe that once this is over, I don't feel like I need a counselor, and I don't feel like I need one now.
Are you experiencing any thoughts of self-harm?
No, and Your Honor, I would like to go to what they had mentioned about me and my truck. At the start of our divorce, yes, I was upset because some things happened, which I'm not going to mention. But yes, I made a comment that I shouldn't have about self-harming myself, but I have been better since then. I've started antidepressants. I've been taking them regularly, and I've gotten my mental health under check and in balance.
And I mean, do you take your, are you prescribed the antidepressants?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you follow the doctor's orders regarding that prescription?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And how long have you been following the doctor's orders on that?
For about 6-7 months now.
Okay. And how are you feeling now?
I to be honest, Your Honor, other than the fact that I'm going through a divorce and custody battle, I'm fine. I'm mentally okay, other than the fact that I miss my child.
Do you have any other children?
No, Your Honor.
And when were you and Miss Floyd married?
Toy mom.
We were married November 15th of 2021.
Were you working at Shanty Creek at the time you got married in November of 21?
I was not, Your Honor. I had started that job that summer. I was working at Dollar General in Bel Air at the time when we got married.
And was there any period of unemployment between Dollar General and Shanty Creek?
If there was, I think it was only like a 2 or 3 week unemployment period, and I was right back to working.
And so then in the summer of last year is when you started at Shanty Creek. Is that what I'm to understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And then you ended Shanty Creek basically at the end of the summer?
Yes, Your Honor, because I was on the golf course, and so when the golf course work was up, I was gone.
Okay. Now, since the separation, have you given Miss Floyd or anybody, Miss Floyd or any family member any kind of money or anything else to help with Madison?
Actually, Your Honor, I have. Like I tried to mention to Emmy when I was questioning her, I had given my mother $300 like a month after we separated, because Emmy had been asking my mom for some of the stuff from the house, and she's like, well, Seth, why don't you help out Emmy monetarily with a little bit while I run, since I'm running clothes and stuff over there anyways for her and the baby. And so I handed her $300. I was like, use it all to get her diapers, wipes, and some food. So then Emmy's got it for a while. And my mother said that she had used that money for that.
I'd object to the hearsay.
That's sustained. But I guess, Mr. Tucker, did you actually, I mean, can you describe what kind of clothes and things you had for Madison at your mom's house, you know, at the time of the separation?
To be honest, Your Honor, my daughter has so much clothes. I cannot tell you everything in detail that I had and that I had sent over there, because I was just packing it up so then she could have some clothes there and have some clothes for when she came to my mom's and stuff.
Was it anything, did you pack anything besides clothes?
Yeah, I packed diapers and wipes and everything, and anything Emmy would have needed until I saw Madison, I packed away for her, for my mother to bring over to Emmy.
Anything else besides diapers and wipes, like any kind of equipment or anything?
No, because my mom, she drives a small car, so I couldn't really fit any of the cribs or anything into her car to have her take them over there. When I had access to a truck, I was planning on having somebody bring all that over there to her, a pack and play and everything.
So do you have that equipment at your mom's house now?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Okay. And you mentioned a crib. Is that true?
Yes, my mother has a wooden crib that she had bought and for use at her house.
Okay.
But I'm sure if Emmy needed it, my mother could get it to her.
And you mentioned a pack and play. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor, we have 2 pack and plays at my mother's house, and a swing and 2 bouncy seats and 2 walkers.
Now, you're a first-time parent, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So did you come up with the idea to get the pack and play and the 2 swings and the 2 bouncy seats and the 2 walkers, or was that someone else's idea?
That was all pretty much given to us for what baby shower gifts and or our parents buying it for us throughout our daughter's life.
Did you go to the baby shower?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
And where did that take place?
That took place, I do believe it was in Arbutus Beach, Gaylord, Michigan. If I am wrong about that, then it was somewhere near that area.
Okay. And did your mom go?
My mother went, my father went, and both of Emmy's parents went.
Was there any kind of tension there between your family and her family?
Not that I can recall, no.
Have you had any kind of run-ins with anyone in Miss Floyd's family?
I have, while I was staying in Gaylord for about a week or 2 with some friends.
And when, like, approximate month and year?
It was this year, and it was at Walmart.
January, February, March?
About February-ish, the start of
Okay.
February. I saw her mother twice at Walmart, where her mother was glaring at me, giving me dirty looks. And then I found out she had an employee take a picture of me and send it to her. And I made a report to Walmart and everything about it. Because she's making me feel very, very uncomfortable.
So, how many pets or animals are kept inside at your mother's residence?
There are 3 dogs. 2 of them are my mother's. They typically stay down in her room downstairs. Then there is a blue heeler that is my brother's dog. And then there is 1 cat and 2 ferrets.
1 cat?
Yes, we had multiple cats when Emmy lived there, but since then my cat has died, and my other brother who was living there with his 2 cats moved out and took his cats with him.
Right. And is the blue heeler an inside dog or an outside dog?
He's both inside and outside. Like, he goes outside to go to the bathroom, but other than that, he's inside. During the summer, we'll leave him outside for as long as he wants to be, but with it being winter, he can't really stay out all day long.
So you keep the blue heeler outside during the summer. What about your mom's 3 dogs? Are they kept outside during the summer?
My mother's 2 dogs are not, because they are just small little Pomeranian Chihuahuas. And my mom's boyfriend typically stays in the room, so if they got to go outside and go to the bathroom and whatnot, he lets them out while he's down there.
Is it 1 Pomeranian and two Chihuahuas?
It is 2 Pomeranian Chihuahua mixes.
Oh, so she has 2 dogs.
Yes, Your Honor.
I see. And then your brother has the 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pac-Man's all about the Pomeranians. He's so interested in the dog count.
Who takes care of the cat?
My brother Mitchell does, because it is his cat. Him and his girlfriend take care of him.
Well, do you ever
house?
Do you ever look at the litter box?
Yes, and when I had my cat and their cat was there, I was constantly checking the litter boxes. I know Melissa keeps the litter box in their room for their cat, and when they go to work, they keep him locked up in the room so he's not destroying the house.
All right. So, do you have any experience taking care of I guess a 1-year-old?
I've helped out family members with their kids and whatnot, so I do know somewhat of what I'm doing, and any questions that I have, I know I could ask my mom or dad from them having 5 kids, and they can try and help me with any questions that I have, or if not, then I'll seek a medical professional's help.
What would you do if there was any kind of a medical emergency for Madison?
I would first, if it's severe enough to go to the hospital and get checked out, I would make sure to get her there as quick as possible. If need be, I would call an ambulance for her. But other than that, if it's a small cold, I will try at home to try and fix it. And if it gets worse, then I will go get her checked out.
And the PPO between yourself and Miss Floyd prohibits indirect communication as well as direct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Meaning I couldn't write her a letter, and I cannot contact her family either.
And did you try to get that PPO terminated?
I did not, because I did not even find out about the PPO until the Michigan State Police called me and let me know that I had one. I never got PPO paperwork stating that I had a PPO, other than a slip in the mail stating that I couldn't buy a firearm. Other than that, I would actually like to ask Mr. Campbell if you could send me a copy of that PPO in the mail, so then I have it, because I do not have one.
Well, I mean, I would recommend that you go to the Gaylord County Clerk's office.
All right.
Go to the Gaylord County Clerk's office. They'll give you a copy because you're one of the parties. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. All right. What are you asking for today?
I am asking for 50-50 because I have tried through this whole thing to see my daughter and I have been denied. And I feel like we both deserve equal. We both deserve equal time with our daughter. We both deserve everything equal, 50-50 split right down the middle.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Tucker. So, Mr. Tucker, did you have, thank you for answering my questions. Before we move on to cross-examination, Mr. Tucker, did you wish to provide any additional testimony by way of, I guess, I'll give you some leeway if you have some additional testimony you'd like to provide.
I am good for right now, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Campbell, do you need a minute?
No, I don't, Your Honor. I can
Your witness.
pose a few questions. Thank you. Mr. Tucker, how long have you lived continuously at your mom's house now?
It will be a year this February, I do believe.
Now, a few moments ago, you testified about staying at a friend's house.
Yes, I stayed a week or two at a friend's house in Gaylord trying to find work, but I didn't move there. I was just staying there for a little bit, trying to see if I could find work over in Gaylord. And if I could, then I was going to move over there. That's all I was doing over there.
Okay. And you smoke, is that correct?
I do, but I have not smoked since being on bond, and I actually plan on, when I am off bond and done with my sentencing and everything, I actually plan on not starting back up.
Okay. Do you vape?
I do vape, Mr. Campbell.
And do you use marijuana?
That's what I was just talking about. I did before my bond and everything, and I don't plan to start afterwards. I don't plan to start it back up.
Do you smoke tobacco?
Actually, I have quit smoking tobacco. I only vape now.
When did you quit?
About 4 months ago.
And you drank, is that right?
Very, very seldomly. Once in a blue moon, I will have a couple of drinks, yes.
Okay. And you testified earlier that you had a speeding ticket that led to the loss of your driver's license temporarily?
Yes, that was while I was temporarily out of work. And then once I got back into work, I paid for the speeding ticket and got my license reinstated.
Okay. And do you recall the date when you pled guilty to the crimes you described earlier?
Like I told the judge, it was last month on the 18th.
The month of February?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, that was in circuit court?
Yes, sir.
And do you know what your sentence is going to be?
My max sentence that I am facing right now is 4 years and 93 days. Both charges included in that. 4 years for the felony, 93 days for the misdemeanor.
And you haven't filed any motion in this case seeking to have visits with your daughter, have you?
I have not, because I don't exactly know how to go about filing motions.
And apart from the $300 that you testified about, you claim that you gave to your mother to give to Ms. Floyd. Apart from that, you haven't provided any other financial support?
I have not, because I have been denied. If I had been having Madison in my care and Emmy's care, it would have been equalized between the both of us. But it's kind of hard with the PPO for me to contact her and see what she needs. And if I was able to do that and there wasn't a PPO, she would be getting everything she needs from me.
Okay, so if there wasn't a PPO, then you'd pay support.
Yes, because I would actually be able to text her, hey, what do you need from Madison? Hey, can I get
Okay.
you this for Madison? When can I bring this to you? And stuff like that. If I was
Now,
able to do
how
that,
old is your
it'd make it
daughter?
a lot easier.
How old is your daughter?
She is a year and a half.
Okay, that's like 18 months.
Yes, yes, sir.
And do you think it's appropriate for her to be 50% in your care immediately as you're asking for?
I mean, I will go with Emmy's recommendation of a reinstating period, not 50-50 right off the bat, but in the end, I do want 50-50 because it is only fair for everything to be split down the middle and both of us to have our daughter in our lives.
And your current employment, is that a full-time job for you?
Yes, sir, it is a full-time job.
And you've testified that you're working at least 8 hours a day?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, sir.
And do you have overtime?
I am not 100% sure. I'm gonna have to check when I go to work tomorrow if we get paid overtime pay or not.
How many hours a day have you been working over the last 2 weeks?
Roughly around 8 to 10 hour days.
Okay. Bear with me a moment. How did you lose your job at the Family Dollar?
At the Dollar General, that was an
sorry.
accusation of theft, but there was no proof.
Okay. That's all I have for the witness, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, so what happened here was we didn't get a ruling and the stream cut, so we are working on it. My moderators, myself, we're working on to see when Pac-Man is coming back and putting a ruling together. Stay here. I'm gonna see if the Judge Dad clip is downloading, so stay with me. I'll give you let's do something while I'm bringing up that clip. Just stay with me. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.
UT 638-518. Mr. Bologna?
Anthony Bologna about the City of Trenton, Your Honor.
Mr. Carmen?
Michael. Carmen, 73824. On behalf of the defendant, Your Honor.
Ma'am, your name?
Nicole Gonzalez.
All right.
Okay, we are rolling.
All right, I have Detective Fields here, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this is a charge of assault and battery. This allegedly occurred on Fort near Harrison in Trenton, August 9 of 22 at 11:58 p.m. Today is the date scheduled for a bench trial. Any preliminary matters, Mr. Bologna?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Carmen?
None, Your Honor.
Okay, you wish to give an opening?
We'll waive opening, Your Honor.
Any objection to that, Mr. Carmen?
None, Your Honor.
Do you wish to give an opening?
I'll reserve mine.
Okay. You may proceed with your first witness.
Thanks, Your Honor. People will call Detective Fields to the stand, Your Honor.
Come on up here, sir. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear affirm under penalties of perjury the testimony you will give in these proceedings will be the whole truth. So help you God.
I do.
Okay, have a seat, please. You may proceed, Mr. Bloom.
Thank you, Your Honor. Please state your name for the record.
I'm Detective Jake Fields of Trent Police Department.
Okay, and how are you employed?
I am work for the Trent Police Department, City of Trent.
And how long have you been with the City of Trenton Police Department?
Since August of 2020.
Okay, and were you a police officer prior to that?
I was.
And where were you a police officer?
I was a police officer in the City of Ferndale since 2018.
And any other prior law enforcement jobs to that?
No.
Were you on patrol the evening of August 9th of 2022 in the City of Trenton?
I was.
Okay, and approximately 11 p.m., do you recall approaching a scene of a car accident?
I do.
Okay, and what, if anything, did you witness when you approached that scene?
Sure. When I approached the scene, I was notified first by dispatch that there may have been also a physical altercation between two females, as well as a traffic crash. So when I approached the scene and positioned my vehicle to kind of block traffic, I was on northbound 4th Street approaching Harrison. I observed two disabled vehicles and I observed two females in the middle of the intersection.
Okay, are the two females present in the courtroom?
They are.
Okay, please proceed.
The two females I was able to identify in my investigation as well. The female to my left, I was able to identify as Nicole Gonzalez, and the female to my right, I was able to identify as Audrey Laginus.
Okay, and is Ms. Gonzalez, who's the defendant in the matter, is she present in the courtroom?
She is.
Could you please just identify her for the record?
Sure. She's to my left, and she's wearing a black jacket and glasses.
For the record, we'd like to note that the officer has identified the defendant.
Record should so reflect.
Okay, please proceed.
So as I'm positioning my vehicle, I observed Ms. Gonzalez advancing towards Ms. Laginus in the middle of the intersection, close to one of the disabled vehicles. She was walking towards her. She was yelling. There was some aggression there.
Do you recall what she was yelling?
I could not hear what she was yelling, but her voice was elevated. Her body was kind of squared towards Ms. Laginus and approaching her aggressively. At that point, I saw her take her left hand and swing a backhand towards Ms. Laginus. Ms. Laginus was able to back up and avoid that strike. When she walked away at that point at a fast rate back towards the other disabled vehicle, and that's when I approached Ms. Gonzalez.
Okay.
Who walked backwards?
That would have been Ms. Laginus walked away from the scene towards what I was able to determine was her vehicle that was on the other side of the roadway.
And to be clear, Ms. Laginus is the victim.
Correct.
Correct. All right. What, if anything, did the defendants say to you once you approached her?
So when I approached Ms. Gonzalez, she was leaning into one of the disabled vehicles, so I ordered her out of the vehicle. Her first statement to me was, "I did not even hit her," and she was a little irate. She was emotional. She was crying. Her voice was elevated, and so that's when I escorted her back to my vehicle to attempt to interview her further.
Did she state anything else at that point?
She stated that she did not hit Ms. Laginus and that she was attempting to shoo her away, and she demonstrated the same gesture that I observed with a backhand in Ms. Laginus' direction.
Okay. And ultimately, was the defendant placed under arrest that evening, or I guess maybe possibly next morning, since this happened at 11:58 p.m.?
Correct. I did place her under arrest for assault and battery.
Okay. Was there anything else from the investigation that you feel is relevant for the court to hear?
I was able to interview Ms. Laginus as well on that scene, as well as other officers, and I was provided some more context to the situation. But when I interviewed Ms. Laginus, she informed me that basically prior to my arrival...
I'll object, Your Honor, based on hearsay.
Any response?
No, we'll move on. She's gonna be a witness. Okay, anything else besides any statements by any victims that you want to add to the record?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Cross.
Afternoon, Officer Fields.
Good afternoon.
So I believe you indicated you got on scene approximately what time?
It would have been approximately 11:40 p.m.
Okay. And how did you know to go to the location?
I was dispatched to that location.
And what was your understanding had happened before you arrived there?
That there was a traffic crash and a physical altercation between two females.
Was there any other details that were given to you about the crash?
None that I recall.
Were you, when you arrived, how recent had it been since the crash occurred?
I'm not positive. It would have been within 5 minutes of me arriving on scene. I would estimate.
Within 5 minutes?
I would estimate.
Okay. And sir, did you have any indication of who the driver at fault was?
At that time, I was not aware. Upon my arrival, I apologize.
Okay. And but you said you spoke to Miss Laginus?
I did.
Did she indicate anything about who was at fault?
She did.
And what did she tell you?
Objection, hearsay.
Your Honor, it's a statement against interest regarding fault.
Mr. Bologna?
Statement against interest regarding fault. She's not. It's a statement by. It's a statement by the victim, Your Honor, not by the defendant. So I don't think that would apply.
Officer Fields, based on your own observations of the crash and based on your knowledge and experience as a police officer, did you form an opinion as to who was at fault?
I did.
And who would that be?
That would be Miss Laginus.
And when you arrived on scene, you directly observed, you testified that Miss Gonzalez threw, I think you quoted a backhanded slap?
A backhanded strike.
Strike?
Yeah.
Would it be possible for you to demonstrate what you saw?
Sure. Would you like me to stand?
If you could.
Sure. So if Miss Laginus was in your direction, where she was much closer, what I observed was a step and a swing, kind of like that.
Okay, about. That's kind of difficult to do.
With her left hand.
Backhanded with her left hand, yes.
Okay.
Backhanded with her left hand towards the front.
Approximately where you're standing, maybe you could you face that chair?
Sure.
And, okay, pretend the chair is Miss Laginus. How far was my client away from her when she threw the slap that you saw?
I would estimate the same distance that I am now.
Okay, so it looks like approximately 5 feet?
Sure.
Give or take a little bit?
Sure.
Okay, so could you again demonstrate that for us, please?
Sure.
Swipe, strike. Okay. But no part of her hand made contact with any part of Miss Laginus's person?
Not that I observed.
Okay. Did you observe any other instance of where my client made any physical contact with her?
I did not.
Thank you. Officer Fields, you indicated that she was taken into custody, correct?
That's correct. Are you okay if I sit up?
Oh, of course. Okay. Yes, thank you. Did my client indicate that she had any arm pain?
She did.
Do you remember which arm that was in?
I believe it was her right arm.
As a result of the crash?
Correct.
You're certain it was the right arm?
Yes.
Did you observe anything unusual about her arm, any type of injuries in any way?
None that I recall.
Wait 1 second.
Week out, okay.
23rd, next Thursday.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Conley.
Thank you, Your Honor. Officer Fields, did you notice any injuries to Miss Laginus?
No.
None whatsoever?
None that I observed.
Okay. I assume you took a minute to look for injuries?
Sure.
No blood on her shirt, anything like that?
None that I observed.
Any dirt on her clothes?
Not that I recall.
Any dirt on, do you recall what kind of clothes she was wearing?
I do not.
Yeah, this is August 9th, correct?
Correct.
So it would have been pretty warm out, I'd assume?
Correct.
I know it was about midnight, but could she have been wearing shorts?
She could have been.
Could she have been wearing long pants?
She could have been.
Okay, but just to the best of your recollection, and I know you don't remember what she was wearing, but you didn't see any dirt or anything like that on her?
Correct.
Nothing to indicate that she was tried to be thrown to the ground or anything?
Objective form.
Any response?
I'll rephrase the question, Your Honor. Officer Fields, you didn't observe any dirt or markings or scuffings on her clothing?
I did not.
You didn't observe anything that might lead you to believe that she was pushed to the ground?
I did not.
Thank you, sir.
Redirect.
Your demonstration standing up, you did a gesture of stepping into the chair, is that correct?
That's correct.
And do you recall if the victim was facing the defendant when that backhanded slap was about to occur?
Yes.
So the defendant was face to face at that point, correct?
Correct.
Okay, nothing further.
Anything else, Mr. Carmen?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
You can step down, sir. Thank you very much. Call your next witness.
Thanks, Your Honor. Thank you, officer.
Thank you.
At this point, we would like to call Audrey Lajeunesse.
Ma'am, I'm going to ask you to raise your right hand. Please solemnly swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you will give in these proceedings will be the whole truth, so help you God. Okay, have a seat. I just need you to keep your voice up nice and loud, okay?
Okay.
Just get close to the mic. It might help a little bit, and do your best, like the judge said, to try to speak loud, okay?
Okay.
All right. Can you state your name for the record, please?
Audrey Lajeunesse,
Okay. And what's your date of birth?
August 10th, 2004.
Okay. Where do you live?
176
Well, I don't want your complete address. What city do you live in?
Trenton.
Okay. And do you remember back on August 9th of 2022, were you driving in the city of Trenton?
Yes.
Okay. And were you driving in the area of Fort and Harrison?
Yes.
And do you recall, did an accident occur that you were involved with?
Yes.
Okay. And that was around approximately 11:30 at night, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Were you the first car in that accident?
Yes.
Okay, so people hit the back of your vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. And after that accident occurred, what, if anything, did you do?
I got out of the car to go check on the other cars to see if they're okay.
Okay. Were there multiple cars that you were checking on?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened when you checked on the other vehicles?
The first vehicle said that they hadn't been hit and then I just ignored them. And then I went to the next car and asked if they were okay.
Okay. And what happened when you went to that next car?
I was getting called a bitch and then she got out of the car.
Okay. Who is she? Is that person in the courtroom today?
Yes.
Okay. Could you point to and identify who that person is?
Nicole Gonzalez.
Okay. For the record, Your Honor, the witness has identified the defendant.
The record should so reflect.
Okay. And so you stated she called you a bitch. Is there any other profanity or anything else she said to you at that time?
Not that I recall.
Okay. What happened then?
And then she got out of the car and then she tried to, she was like,
It's okay. Take a second. If you need a second, it's all right.
she got out of the car and then she was like chasing me after, like chasing after me while I was walking backwards. And she was trying to swing at me and she pulled my hair. And then we were at a point at like touching each other, like pushing each other off of each other, kind of.
Okay. When you said she was chasing after you, were you running away from her or what were you doing?
Trying to run away from her, like backing away.
Okay. How tall are you?
5'4".
Okay. And how did you feel when she was chasing you?
I felt flustered.
Okay. Were you afraid at all when she was chasing you?
Yes.
Okay. What about when she was pulling your hair? How did you feel then?
Scared.
Okay. And were you eventually able to get away from the defendant?
Yes.
Okay. And what happened when you got away from the defendant?
I went and grabbed my phone and called my mom, and then the police came.
And did you have any other confrontations with the defendant?
No.
Okay. Did she say anything else to you that you remember at that time?
What's up, Ann?
No.
Okay. At any point, did you chase after her?
No.
Okay. And how old were you at the time of this incident?
17.
Did she say any words to you at any point in regards to if she was going to hit you or anything like that?
Objection, hearsay.
It's a party admission if she did say it.
I'm going to overrule the objection.
What is he doing? He always, do you ever notice he always looks like he could care less about what's going on, then all of a sudden, I'm gonna overrule the objection. He's a multitasker. Dad's a multitasker. I'm all about just, what is he do? Watch what he pulls out.
Answer the question, man.
What was the question?
Did she say any words as to how she might hit you or any words like that?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Dad's big book of laws. What is that? I can't with him sometimes.
Okay. I have nothing further for the witness, Your Honor.
Cross.
What's he reading?
Good afternoon, Ms. Laginus.
Good afternoon.
So, regarding the car accident that happened that night, August 9th, how many cars were involved?
What's up, keeper?
2.
2? Just you, Ms.
3.
Go ahead. 3?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us again exactly what happened with the accident?
I crashed into the back of my back bumper, and then I went to the curb, and then they were still in the intersection right on 4th Street. And
Who's
then
that?
Nicole Gonzalez and her dad. And then the people behind her, they just stopped to make sure that they were okay, and then they called the police.
Okay.
I don't understand how the accident happened. Did you rear end them?
No. I went through the light, and then they hit the back of my back bumper. They were coming up straight off of 4th Street, and I was going straight onto Harrison.
We're going straight onto Harrison. Were you on Ford or Harrison?
I was on Harrison.
Which direction were you traveling?
His big book of dad jokes.
Towards 4th Street.
From where? Where were you coming from?
Tell me what book, tell me what you think he's reading. I'm saying barbecue recipes. He's probably using a recipe right now. Because this was yesterday. He probably looked up a barbecue for like barbecued shrimp skewers with sirloin steak.
I was coming from my house off of Grange.
Okay, so you were traveling eastbound on Harrison, correct?
Correct.
So you were going toward the river, right?
Right.
In which direction was Ms. Gonzalez traveling, if you know?
She's going towards... She was just going straight on 4th Street. I don't know.
Was she on 4th Street?
Yes.
Was she going toward West Road or was she going towards King Road?
King Road.
So the accident actually happened correct me if I'm wrong, at the intersection of northbound 4th Street and eastbound Harrison. Is that correct?
Yes.
Only if you know.
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay, Ms. Legend, so you ran a red light,
Right.
right?
Blinking red light, yeah.
Blinking red?
Right.
Okay, so you ran the light, and at that point, Ms. Gonzalez was coming up 4th Street,
Right.
and that caused her to hit the back of your bumper,
Right.
right?
Is that yes?
Yes.
So you ran the light, so you were at fault in the crash.
Yes.
Okay. So you mentioned getting out of the car and approaching Ms. Gonzalez's vehicle.
Yes.
Did you notice if she was driving?
She wasn't.
Who did you see who was driving?
Her dad.
It was her dad?
Yeah.
So when you went up to her vehicle, did you go up to the window?
Yeah, the driver's side.
Okay. And did he roll down the window?
Yes.
Was he still sitting in the car?
Yes.
And at what point did you encounter Ms. Gonzalez?
When she came out of the car and around the front.
Okay, so she got out of her door, walked around the front.
Right.
Were you still standing by the driver's side window?
Yes.
And then you said that she began to swing her arms at you?
Definitely
Right.
maps.
How
Yes.
exactly did she do that?
Definitely maps.
She started off with the backhand swing, and then she was just kind of like chasing after me a little bit, and then we were like hands on a little bit,
What do you mean hands on?
like pushing off of each other.
So you pushed her?
No.
Well, didn't you testify that you were pushing back and forth?
We weren't like pushing each other. We were like, she was trying to push me down to the ground, and I was defending myself.
Going back a minute, Ms. Legends, you said she threw like a backhand type swing at you?
But yes,
What arm?
left.
Did that make any contact with you at all?
No.
It didn't hit any part of your body?
No.
Did you take any type of swing or swipe back?
No.
And then you said you started walking backwards?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember about how far you walked backwards right after that?
No.
Approximately?
No. I don't know.
10 feet, 100 feet?
10 feet?
Closer to 10 feet?
Yeah.
And when that happened, were you still in the street on 4th Street?
Yes.
So when you initially took a step backwards, did you lose your balance and slip down in any way?
No.
And when you indicated Ms. Gonzalez was trying to push you to the ground,
Yes.
what arms was she using?
Both.
Both?
Yes.
At the same time?
Yes.
But you never fell to the ground?
No.
When did she pull your hair?
When she was swinging, like the backhand, and then
Before or after she swung at you with her left hand backhand?
after.
Miss Laginus, you indicated you're about 5'4".
Yes.
Forgive my candor in asking, but how much do you weigh?
I'm not sure.
Approximately.
130, 140. I don't know.
So you have a fairly slight build, right?
Yes.
So if someone were trying to push you to the ground, it's not like you're 6 feet tall and 200 pounds. It would be, if someone tried to push you to the ground, it might be, you might fall, depending on how much force they've used.
Yes.
Did you fall to the ground in this matter at all?
No.
You said Miss Gonzalez pulled your hair?
Yes.
With which hand did she use?
I don't remember.
Don't remember?
No.
How was your hair? Were you wearing it down like you are right now?
Yes.
What exactly part of your hair did she pull on?
The front piece.
The front?
Yeah.
Show me the front. Like, did you have bangs or?
No, just.
All right, so just right there?
Yeah.
On that side?
So on the left
I don't know what
side,
side.
on the left side, when you say the front, you don't mean up by your forehead, you mean on the side of your face.
Yes.
Like down below your chin line.
Yes.
Below your chin.
Did you have a scrunchie on? Should really wear
Oh,
a
you don't remember
scrunchie
which
when you
arm
drive.
she would have used?
No.
Were you texting?
After you say she pulls your hair, how exactly did you react?
I backed away.
Okay. Did that cause her to loosen her grip on your hair?
Yes.
Did she try to grab your hair before or after she tried to push you to the ground?
Before.
And then right after that, after you backed away, is that when she tried to push you to the ground?
Yes.
And you said using both hands,
Yes.
but you didn't fall to the ground at all?
No.
What happened right after that?
They all calmed down, and then I went to go grab my phone from my car and call my mom, and then the police came.
Okay, so you said she calmed down right after that?
A little bit, yeah.
Did she seem upset during this entire incident though?
Yes.
Do you think that was because you were at fault for the accident?
Yes.
Did she seem scared about her father's potential health?
More
Object,
about.
calls for speculation by the witness.
I'll withdraw the question, Your Honor. Did her father ever get out of the car?
Eventually.
Did Miss Klein ever say to you anything about fearing that her dad was hurt?
No.
I didn't see this part. I fell asleep actually last night.
So then what happened when you called the police?
I didn't call the police. The people behind Nicole called the police.
Okay, so the other car,
Yeah.
the third car.
Yeah.
How long was it before the police arrived after the crash happened?
Approximately, I guess, like 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yes, Wolf Dog.
Did anything else occur after that with Miss Gonzalez?
Like with me?
No, between Miss Gonzalez and yourself,
No.
after the police got there.
No.
Thank you.
Redirect?
No redirect, Your Honor. Thank you.
You can step down, ma'am. Thank you very much. Call your next witness.
People arrest, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any witnesses, Mr. Carmen?
Your Honor, we do not have any witnesses to call.
Okay.
So we're getting a ruling. I didn't see this. All right.
Thanks, Your Honor. Charges are assault and battery in the city of Trenton on August 9th, 2022. It's not only been testified that an assault occurred, but that a battery did occur as well. Victim stated that she was fearful for her well-being. She was intimidated. She attempted to flee the entire time. At no point was she ever the aggressor. She was trying to check on the defendant and the defendant's father. There was a pulling of the hair she testified to. There was also the assault, which was the slapping gesture towards her, which fortunately was missed. Based on that, the elements of assault and battery have been met within the city of Trenton on August 9th of 2022, Your Honor.
Any argument, Mr. Carmen?
Yes, Your Honor. Just we heard the testimony of Ms. Laginus, who did admit she couldn't remember which arm that my client supposedly pulled her hair with. She did admit that with regards to the backhand slap, it did not make contact with any part of her person whatsoever. She did admit that that although my client allegedly tried to push her to the ground, she did not fall to the ground. She also gave testimony that she was pushing back. Obviously, it appears she was at fault in the crash and got my client into a, she was very scared and obviously emotional, being, involved in a crash that wasn't her fault.
Give me 1 second, please. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. Carmen.
As Ms. Lajeunesse also testified to in the court can observe, she is a fairly, I want to say, I don't mean to be insulting, but you know, I'm rather short, about 5'4", fairly petite. So if someone with my client's height and weight were to use enough force to push her to the ground, I have a feeling that there's a good chance she would have fallen to the ground. Officer Fields indicated there was no markings whatsoever on her, no dirt, nothing like that, saying that she had fallen to the ground or been made contact with. Didn't look like any of her hair was pulled out, or saw no visible injuries to her. He obviously also indicated that he didn't see her make any direct contact whatsoever with Ms. Lajeunesse. All he observed was as he showed us, was the backhand, you know, swipe that didn't make any contact with her. So, you know, we have no independent witnesses here that witnessed any assault and battery. I say at best maybe an attempt, but there's no Officer Fields didn't witness, you know, anything regarding the alleged pulling of hair or attempting to push to the ground. You know, it seems maybe at best it's a mutual combatant type situation, and I think there's at least a smidge of reasonable doubt that the court could find my client not guilty.
Anything else, Mr. Vaughn?
Yeah, the pushing back clearly was in self-defense, Your Honor. The law is clear that assault and battery can either be the actual battery of the physical contact, which we have here, or the fear of that physical contact, which we have not only the victim, but the officer witnessed the attempt of the battery as well, which would be the assault. So beyond reasonable doubt, assault and battery has been met. The standards have been met. Just because the defendant didn't push hard enough, that is not a defense for assault and battery, especially on this victim. So we believe beyond a reasonable doubt, all of the elements have been met of an assault and or battery charge.
Defendant is presumed to be innocent. The prosecutor must prove each and every element of the crime beyond a reasonable doubt. The testimony is that on the date in question, which was August 9 of 22, sometime between, say, 11:30 and 11:50 p.m., the victim, Ms. Lajeunesse, was operating her motor vehicle eastbound on Harrison at the intersection of Fort and Harrison. The defendant was in a vehicle that was being operated northbound on Fort Street.
Everything out of the room.
Intersection of
He never
Harrison
stepped
and
foot in the
Fort
rooms
Street.
anyways, Your Honor.
There was a red flashing light for the vehicle being operated by Ms. Lajeunesse. That means she had to bring her vehicle to a complete stop. She did not do so. There was an accident at the intersection, and the testimony here is from Ms. Lajeunesse, is that her hair was pulled. She was being essentially pursued aggressively by the defendant, and also from both the officer and Ms. Lajeunesse, that the defendant attempted to strike her with a backhand. In order to prove the crime is alleged, the prosecutor must prove either that an assault occurred or an assault and battery occurred. An assault means that the defendant either attempted to commit a battery or did an act that would cause a reasonable person to feel or to fear or apprehend an immediate battery. A battery is a forceful or violent touching of the person or something closely connected with the person. Certainly grabbing one's hair is a battery. Certainly attempting to strike them under the facts and circumstances of this case constitutes an assault. So both an assault as well as a battery occurred, and the court so finds that the defendant is guilty, prosecutor having carried their burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm going to set this for sentencing. I'm going to order a pre-sentence report. While the defendant certainly sounds, well, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. While it certainly sounds like the victim caused the accident, that does not mean that somebody causing an accident needs to be the victim of an assault. This isn't Roy Bean Justice on the street. Find you guilty as charged. Pre-sentence report, sentence date, and the court will set this for a sentencing on, let's do it on a Trenton docket day. Do I have anybody here telling me what the date is? Give me a date. When are you here with me again, Mr. Bologna?
It would be 2 weeks from today, Your Honor.
I'll set it for March the 30th.
Guilty,
that will be at 8:30 in the morning. Ma'am, you're going to go over and get interviewed by probation. This is not a difficult call. No contact provision is continued. No contact with prosecution witnesses. You're not to possess firearms or dangerous weapons. You're not to leave the state without the consent of the court or violate any law. You must appear in court as directed. Do you understand all of that?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me, ma'am?
No, I don't.
Okay, I would really like to hear from you, Ms. Lajeunesse. You're welcome to appear by Zoom or in person at the time of the sentence. Probation will also send you a victim's rights statement that if you choose to fill out, you can do that as well. I wish you well. Good luck. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
I see that.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I got my last clip and it's an update, and I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone here. I'm going to actually promote a new guy out. He was here with us from the beginning, and now he got inspired and started his own channel. If you want to go subscribe to him, he's got clips too all the time. He's The Way I See It. So if anyone wants to drop, one of my mods want to drop a link, he was a contributor, donations to my channel in the beginning, so the least I could do. And what he did was he got an update for us for remember, I'll bring it up, I'll show it for you guys. Remember I played it, and it was in Judge Middleton's court. So if you see him, this is his channel, The Way I See It. All right, and what we found here was, remember there was two cases I had. They were back to back for evictions. Grandma and Grandpa wanted the grandsons out, and then the crazy woman who thought she was muted, beating up her husband on camera, and saying that the landlord who said she was living in a tent, the landlord wanted them out. So it was 7 days. So this was the 7-day mark, I think, yesterday. So The Way I See It got the update for us, and I really appreciate that I'm taking it from him, and I appreciate that. So I'm gonna keep his channel up, and we're gonna watch this real quick, and then I bid you farewell. So just hang out with me for the last 10 minutes, and let's enjoy it.
Good luck.
Hello?
All right, Ms. Hartzell, good luck to you as well.
Oh, yeah.
Who is PCL A3?
Hello? Mr. Bickings?
What's your name?
Mr. Bickings? And Kelsey Kelly?
All right, Mr. Bickings. All right, you're in the right spot.
Yeah,
Ms. Hartzell, you're free to go.
Thank you.
All right, we had this problem last time. You need to turn your camera on.
Yeah, turn it on. See if it'll, and it keeps booting us out. See if there's a, it should be a video, right? Start video? Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
There also
What's that?
is Kelsey Kelly also there.
Yeah.
After we finished the hearing last week, someone contacted the court and said that Dalton Bickings assaulted Miss Kelly on camera during the hearing. So I went back and watched it. First, your brother got arrested, and I thought it was you.
He keeps booting us out.
What?
So turn your camera on. I'm not doing this unless I can see you.
Yeah, I got how do you turn, I don't know. Camera is on.
Bravo,
Yeah,
Way I See It. Oh, I didn't see
Can you
this.
see us?
Bravo.
No, I can't.
Okay, so do I have to share, maybe? Okay. I don't know, it keeps booting us.
Idiots.
Yeah, try it.
Idiots.
Hello? Camera? Yeah. Start video. Can you see us now?
Start video.
Can you see us now? That's what it says there. Now it says stop video.
Well, hit start video again.
Okay.
You're sitting in a dark room. You're in the cold, but
It's in the middle.
now they're gone.
I'm gonna cry. You're sitting in a dark room. He's... Somebody called us and said he assaulted her. She assaulted him. We saw the clip. She beat the crap out of him. He was petting a puppy, and she was beating him up. And he gets assault. I can't. Bravo, way I see it. Bravo.
I'm using the right audio. What's that?
Well, you keep.
I keep booting us out of here.
It keeps popping out, popping back in, and I've got audio. I am concerned because you assaulted her live on screen last Friday.
No way, Middleton.
I have it on screen.
What?
I have it on video. Oh, on like Zoom or whatever.
It was more of a shove. Plus, you were disrespectful to her. But so some of the people that were watching the feed were concerned. I shared the information with the county prosecutor. Here is Miss Sage. Good afternoon, Miss Sage. We're starting with.
Hello? Hey, we keep getting kicked off the video.
I'm going for us right now.
Stop hanging up.
I don't hang up. It keeps kicking me off the video. I'm not hanging up. I'm not even touching the phone.
All right, well, just...
Okay, so now this is the landlord. If you guys just see, Grim, I have it under mine in my videos.
Stay where you are. This is a return to Michaela Sage versus Kelsey Kelly and Dalton Bickings and all others. We were here last Friday, March 10th. The matter was returned to today. You're living in Miss Sage's house on Michigan Avenue in Three Rivers. You don't have a lease.
What an update. It's good and horrible at the same time. This is the best clip of my whole stream. If you don't love LawTube and court channels, I don't know what's wrong with you. My father says it's boring. He goes, oh, I like watching you, but you're boring. This is boring. This is fantastic. Could you imagine what those two are doing off camera right now? She's got him on the ground beating him with his puppy. She rolled up the tent and beat him up. If someone's in contact with the way I see it, just tell them I said bravo.
They wanted me to let you know that it keeps kicking them off.
Yes, it does.
Middleton keeps yelling at us. It won't connect. It like literally keeps kicking
I
the
can
phone.
hear you now. I can't.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, just listen
Okay.
and do the best we can.
Okay, it's probably gonna cut off again. It keeps doing it. I don't know why it's doing it.
Yeah, we can hear a little bit. Yeah.
At the same house, which is part of the
All right,
problem.
thank you. Bye. She's already hitting yours. For now.
Miss Sage wants you to move. In fact, she wants you to move even more this week than she did last week. Have you made any provision to find a place to go to?
Yeah.
What's that?
Have you found a place to move to?
No, we have not found a place. We've been looking, but there's nothing out there at the moment, and we're waiting on our taxes. And yes, I'm looking for work and everything.
Miss Sage contacted the court and said you called the police on her last week.
Yes. Kelsey's the one called.
Why?
Because we were sitting up here at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and my kid was in bed to go to school. We're getting ready to go to bed. And we're sitting there minding our own business. And she come home, her and her boyfriend, and her boyfriend come upstairs and try to go into my kid's room. and moving him in our room and taking everything out of the room at that.
Oh, he's high as a
Hold
kite.
on again.
Yeah, and that's not true anyways, Your Honor. That's not how it happened.
All right, well, let's.
Anyways, he come up here and I asked him not to go in my kids' room and everything.
Stop, Mr. Pickings.
Uh-huh.
Let me repeat. Last week, you were live on camera and you were shoving Miss Kelly and rude and disrespectful to her. You're living in this lady's house. You're not paying any rent. You don't have a lease, and she wants you to move. I don't know whether boyfriend came up into your room or not. At this point, you guys are stuck with each other, and you're not to go up into their unit. I don't know if your boyfriend went up there. I don't even need to know. But you can't do that sort of constructive eviction. You're stuck with them. And they keep bopping out of here.
He never stepped foot in the rooms anyways, Your Honor.
Well, it doesn't matter. Just don't do it. And for them to call the police on you is an interesting turn of events.
Oh boy, this is masterful. What an update. Middleton. Oh.
Okay.
Here we go.
Can you
We
hear
get
me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, you have 10 days to move out. Immediately, but you've got children. You have 10 days from today, which is March 27th, to move, or the sheriff will come put your stuff out in the street. You understand? Just before this, I had a hearing where the grandmother evicted her 3 grandsons who don't work, and she got tired of having them in the house. I asked you this before, 437 East Michigan. Which house is that, Miss Sage?
It's the, so there's the cemetery and then there's the corner house. My house is right next to the corner house before the cemetery.
Okay, got it.
So it's 2 houses from the cemetery.
Mr. Bickings, can you hear me?
But when the incident happened with the room, it wasn't even like that. We had went upstairs to ask if they could share a room for the evening because one of our friends had asked if he could stay the night. So that's how that, yeah.
Stop. No, stay out of their space. You need some other couch flopper in there so you can get the ones you got out of there. Don't go up there. You got to tough this out for 10 more days. Then you can get rid of eviction if there aren't out. Don't buy yourself more problems by letting somebody else move in there without a lease.
Well, it wasn't to move in. He just wanted to stay the night for the night.
Well, that's the problem you don't need, at least not right now. Mr. Bickings, can you hear me?
Look at him. This is...
Miss Sage, I've signed
Yes.
the order that says they have until March 27th to move.
Do
they don't
move
move
out
by that date. March
or SWAT?
27th is a
I think I'm going to put a poll up.
Monday. You bring $15 to the court and you can ask for a writ of eviction and the sheriff forcibly puts them out. That's the process you have to go through to terminate a tenancy. And you're taking the steps, although they are cumbersome. But you can't just throw their stuff out, so you're trying to do it right. I commend you for that. But be careful you don't get right into the same boat. I don't know if they can hear me or not. They have a very bad connection. Mr. Bickings, can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yeah,
All right, you have until March 27th to move, or the sheriff is going to come put you and your family out. Do you understand? You also have until that date to appeal it. And, as I mentioned, I shared that information that was on screen with the prosecutor. I don't know anything's going to come of that. All right, I've had enough frustration, so I'm going to release you from here.
You don't want to leave me.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
I don't want to leave you. We're getting more in the room. My family's getting ready because we're going to watch a comedian tonight.
All right.
I got 270 in the room.
All right, Mr.
The way I
Bickings,
see
you're
it's
good to
got
go.
good clips. Let's keep rolling. The way I see it, you're getting promoed, my man. This is what we do on Time Serve. We care about everybody else. We don't care how big your channel is or small. Take care of everybody. Let's watch. Oh, he's got my girlfriend. Let's go. Judge Mom. He must have known I was trolling him. He threw that up. Let's roll. These guys, I haven't seen these either. I'm on his channel. I haven't seen it. Go subscribe. Look, 297. He jumped just from us. Good job, buddy.
So, on the record, in the matter of Portfolio Recovery Associates versus Angelique Bates, 163949. And counsel, your appearance, please.
Yeah, good morning, Your Honor. Michael Kirschenheiter for the plaintiff, P7572. How are you doing?
All right.
Good, thank you. And Ms. Bates, your name, please.
Angelique Banks.
All right, can you please adjust your camera so that I'm looking at you and not the roof of your car, please?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
What is his
actually
name?
starts around 13 minutes.
I'm writing down the attorney.
All right.
Okay.
I love the
just
detail.
Just a moment. Please don't interrupt the court.
The way I see it. All right, so we're going to go here. All right, here we go.
That's how to best go about that. Ms. Bates?
Yes, I'm writing it down. I hear you.
Okay, and so the documentation that you submitted, the bank statement that you submitted to, excuse me, to Mr. Kirschenheiter, this seems to be, okay, so there's a Chase Bank account that says Ashley Battle by Angelique Banks, representative payee. That's on the Chase Bank account.
Yes.
Yes, Judge, and to that point, what I was trying to point out to the court is that account was not garnished based on the disclosure. The only account that was garnished was the savings account that only has defendant's name. So don't even think we need to get into the legal aspect of whether or not the funds in those accounts are exempt or not. The only account that was garnished was a savings account that has only defendant's name, and she didn't provide it. What she provided had no deposits on it in that account. There was a couple of withdrawals.
Okay. And that's, so that's the Chase account that so the one that was not garnished.
Yeah, pursuant to the disclosure. Sorry, Judge. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Pursuant to the disclosure, the account that was garnished ends in 7626, and that is the savings account of defendant.
Would you agree with that, Ms. Banks?
No, I disagree. I showed Suzanne, this guy here, I never met him. The other guy I think was Arabic, Suzanne Bardo. I sent him, I have the emails where I sent him the email of the statement showing that the exempt funds were transferred, which you should have a copy also, Judge.
Okay.
So no, I disagree.
I'm sorry, just one moment. When you say the exempt funds are transferred, you're indicating that the exempt funds that are in 2181 are transferred to 7626?
Yes, you should see that in the file. Do you have those papers in front of you showing the transfers? Carly asked for that information and I sent it to her from that account.
I see that. Counsel, I presume you have that as well?
Your Honor, all I have is the documentation that was sent to my office. Obviously, I know it can be difficult when we're not actually in court. I'm not exactly sure what she's referencing. However, I would indicate if she's saying there were funds transferred into her own, solely her savings account, I'm not exactly sure how those would be exempt.
And so, ma'am, how would those funds be exempt if they're transferred into a bank account in only your name?
Because those are all Medicaid waiver funds and mixed in with SSI. Do you see the information I sent you regarding where the funds are coming from and how I'm paid? How those are to cover for taking care of my daughter and providing for her? I sent that as well. One company is Together Home Care, which is the Medicaid PA provider. And then the other one is InCare Solutions, which is the Medicaid waiver. And I sent that all to you.
Oh, I'm looking at that. And that's all done on the 2181 account. So I guess I'm unsure as to why you're transferring into your own personal account.
That's a savings account. I'm her mother, so I am her rep payee. So if I want to move the funds over, that's what I did. I did it. It is still exempt funds. All of that income is stated there that was made from Medicaid, that was paid to take care of Ashley Battle, my daughter, was transferred over. I only did that because I needed to have that money separated for account information, so I can make sure I kept the money balanced out, which.
Your Honor,
so, I mean, that's neither here nor there really, because the point is the funds are exempt. And it is showing you exactly where it's coming from and where the money came from, and that it was. I have no other income that's coming in. I don't know if that's what you're questioning, or, I mean, I don't understand the question, but it's very direct.
Your Honor, 2 points. First of all, I don't even believe the defendant has proven that the funds are exempt. But I'm pretty sure she's not provided any law that shows that she could take exempt funds for her daughter and place them in her own private account that is only for her. The only funds that were withheld by the bank were funds only in the defendant's name.
Okay. So, ma'am, you've indicated that you don't work, correct?
Right.
That you're not employed at all.
Right. Everything that I get is help providing, take care of my daughter. I'm not able to work because of my daughter's disability.
Okay. So, then please explain why Together Home Care, dated February 24th of 2023, indicates to whom it may concern, Angelique Banks was hired as a home health aide on March 30th, 2022, when was assigned to work an ongoing Medicaid PA-funded case for Ashley Battle. On January 1, 2023, Together Home Care transitioned to using ABP as a third-party payroll vendor. All payroll documents prior to the current year were provided by Paychex Oasis and were labeled as such. Please feel free to contact the office with any questions regarding Angelique's employment with Together Home Care of Indianapolis. Then, there's an email dated February 15th of 2023 from Sandra Maldonado, the president owner of InCare Solutions. This email is to confirm that Angelique Banks is an independent contractor in InCare Solutions. The payments that we make to her are considered difficulty of care payments, as described in IRS 2014-7. The funding source for these payments is Medicaid. InCare Solutions is an agency approved by the state of Indiana to provide home and community-based services to individuals on Medicaid waivers. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you, Sandra Maldonado. So, ma'am, you're receiving payments of employment, of income. You're receiving income.
Exactly. See, income to take care of Ashley Battle. You see her name up there?
Ma'am, you testified to this court. You've been sworn in to tell the truth. You testified to this court that you're not employed. While you're in fact employed by InCare Solutions as well as Together at Home. So Together Home Care. So you are employed.
These funds are exempt. I work for my daughter. I don't have a job where a regular job. I work for my daughter. These funds are to help take care of her since she is staying in the home. I'm not sure what part, I'm not understanding your question. It's Medicaid waiver funding. I've been taking care of my daughter for 31 years, which is very rare and not seen. Most people put their children, adults in group homes. I refuse to do that. I'm giving her the care that she needs. So this is what they do to help parents do that, to provide a better quality of life for my daughter. So this is a mess, and it's not looking good on you guys' end, because it's like you're not understanding, trying to act like you're not understanding what I'm saying. Yeah, they reference it as to employee, but it's used to help provide for the adult. I'm calling it child because my baby's still my baby, but.
Ma'am, I am understanding perfectly. You have a disabled child that requires care. You've indicated via testimony under oath, as well as emails or paperwork or letters that you're sending into the court, that you are not employed.
I'm not employed.
Yeah.
No,
the letters that you provided to the court stated in February 2023
pay any money.
would suggest that you are employed. You receive paychecks from 2 companies. You've indicated. Now, if your daughter is receiving Medicaid payments or paperwork or letters that you're sending into the court, emails or paperwork or letters that you're sending into the court, that would be a good thing to know. Is she also receiving that?
I don't understand your question.
Does your daughter receive disability benefits from the government?
SSI, yes. You have that letter, right?
Okay. And so how much does she receive for SSI?
Good morning, everyone.
I believe it's $914.
Okay. So your daughter receives SSI payments.
He has.
And so that is deposited into the 2181 account. Correct?
Without having a very good connection. So I'm not sure what that was about. But
and
it's not
InCare are also
set for this morning.
into that 2181
Marlowe.
Correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then you transfer money into your own account. That's the 7626 account, correct?
That wasn't my own account. That's me and my daughter's account. My name is only on there because I opened it online, and I didn't know I had to add my name. I didn't know I had to add her name. I'm sorry. At the time when I did it online. I'm sure you're aware you can open up accounts online. And I thought they were considered.
I've been staying with my wife on Constantine on White Pigeons.
I just got it when I opened it in 20.
That's substantial to some people. Send attorney for you instead of probation violation hearing.
I would have to look back at the records, but yeah, I just
revoke the probation to give you the 28 days, Your Honor.
For some time.
All right, well, let's talk about that. Other than what I just said here, did
I opened it thinking that it was still under both of our names. I wasn't aware that I had to actually have her name put on there.
All right, let's take up Ms. Green. How do you pronounce your first name?
But the money again was transferred from the 2181 account. It was transferred from that account, which is SSI funds, the waiver, and the Medicaid.
And your paychecks. If you're talking, I can't hear you. You muted yourself.
Court does call.
Okay, so and your paychecks are also deposited, correct?
I'm sorry.
And, okay, you keep muting yourself. Your paychecks are also deposited. Ms. Banks?
I'm watching the case. I'm not playing
Ms.
anything.
Banks? Ms. Banks,
Can you hear me?
Yes. So your paychecks are also deposited into the account, and then you transfer it into your own account, correct?
Maybe that was the way I see its video.
Hello?
Would that be correct, ma'am? Ms. Banks?
Hello?
Yes, Ms. Banks, can you hear me?
Just only talking. I don't hear anything.
Okay, well, Ms. Banks, the court can hear you. Can you hear me? Ms. Banks?
I can't hear you. 1 second. Can't hear anything. Hello?
Yes, can you hear me now?
This lady is brutal.
Can you hear me now, Ms. Banks?
Mind you, she has a Cadillac.
Ms. Banks, can you hear me?
She's driving a caddy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me now? Good. You hear me now? Good.
Ms. Banks?
Hello?
Hello?
Come on.
Can you hear me, Ms. Banks? Yes, can you hear me?
Don't do that to mom.
Terry, can you,
Hello?
hello, can you hear me?
Me?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Relax.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I went out. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the last question I asked was that your paychecks also get deposited into that account, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so then you transfer them into an account that's in only your name. I heard what you said, that you didn't know that it wasn't connected to your daughter's account or what have you. However, it has been, you had that account for over 1 year, and you would have known or noticed that only your name appears on that account as opposed to the 2181 that's your daughter's account that also has your name on it as payee. So this would suggest that this is your personal account. When you transfer money into this account that's in only your name, you do not have any disability funds of your own that are deposited into this account. You don't have any disability funds. I mean, when you're transferring it over to this account, you're opening it up. So the court has heard that you've indicated that this should be dismissed, that you don't owe the money, that it's past the statute of limitations. However, the court gave you 3 weeks to file a motion appropriately or to contact legal representation. And based upon the law, there are not any valid objections that have been filed with the court. The objection to garnishment is not the appropriate venue to raise the issue of dismissal or the issue of the validity of the judgment. And so for those reasons, the court is denying the objections to garnishment, as the objections are invalid. Garnishee shall immediately release withheld funds to the plaintiff attorney. And ma'am, if there's something that you can submit to Mr. Kirschenheiter that would support your claim that the funds are exempt that are in your personal account that are in there from your paycheck, then perhaps that may be revisited. But it's important to note that the account that your name is on, that your daughter's disability payments are deposited into, is not the account that's being garnished. Anything else, counsel?
It looks like you filled out an order, Judge.
I am filling out, yes, I filled out the order.
Thanks, Judge.
Anything else, Ms. Bates?
I'm sorry?
Anything else?
I disagree to all of this. I submitted all the information that was necessary, and you all are ignoring it. As far as
Ma'am, let me just clarify. You can certainly disagree with that. If you'd like to file an appeal, you can certainly file that appeal. You are mistaken when you say that the court has chosen to ignore all of it, because the court reviewed all of it and went into great detail on the record as to why it denied your objection. You are certainly entitled to your opinion, but the court did not ignore
What up, Rick?
the documents.
Thank you, sir. The Simpson for month 2 is Simpson.
Thanks, Judge.
All right, ma'am, if you'd like to file an appeal, I would strongly suggest you contact an attorney, because the staff here at the court cannot give you legal advice as to how to proceed with your next steps.
I need copies of all of this. What you said, I need copies of everything that you just said that took place today. Why you're denying it, I need copies of all of that sent to me.
Well, then what you'll have to do is you'll have to email in to request a copy of the transcript. That's what you'll have to do.
Email who?
You'll have to email into the 27th District Court to request a copy of the transcript.
Anyone in particular?
No, ma'am. Just a general email, and it will get to the appropriate person.
And just put the case number on there, correct?
Yes, you should also put your name on there as well.
Okay.
Have a great day, Judge.
Thank you.
Happy St. Patty's Day.
You as well.
Idiots. Okay.
All right, let's go to Amarillo. He's got an Amarillo. You know I love Amarillo because they say time served a lot in Amarillo. All right, let's go. Let's do it. And I think this is going to be the last clip because we're approaching 3 hours. I don't even care. Love it. All right, here we go. Let's do it. I'm getting delirious.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, Mr.
Oh boy,
Lopez.
we got a whopper.
Good morning.
So, Mr. Lopez, back in 2018, when you were 15 years old, you got a ticket for speeding, 47 and a 35, and no driver's license. You didn't take care of those until 2022, when you got another speeding ticket. And that one was for speeding 81 and a 60. And then in 2021, you got tickets for failure to display driver's license and no insurance. Also in 2022, you received a citation for no seatbelt passenger. Were you given citations last night?
I'm not aware. He didn't tell me. I'm not really sure.
You just came to his attention because of your excessive speed as you were leaving a stop sign or stoplight or something?
Yeah, but I had just gotten my car back last night. No, yesterday, and I was out of town, and my mechanic told me to let me know if there was anything wrong with it, and I was testing it out last night because I had gotten back from out of town.
I don't think that's where you're supposed to test it. Is it I-40 or Emerald Boulevard and Grand?
Yeah, and I told him that was my bad. I'm sorry about that. It's just he told me to let him know as soon as possible if there's anything wrong with it, and I was like, okay. And so I was, yeah, but that was my fault. That was my.
It's been a trusty vehicle. 3 out of 4 of these tickets are in that vehicle.
Oh, it was my car messed up on last Thursday. So he got it done. He got it done yesterday morning, and he told me he didn't have the chance to test it out or like drive around or anything like that.
Okay.
That was
Well, here we are. And let's not, the biggest problem is that you have failed miserably in taking care of these citations. You were given payment plans, you were given community service.
Yes.
And you've got a total F for effort.
Because I take care of my mom. She's disabled, so I take care of her. And
Mr. Lopez, you can't take care of anybody if you're in jail, if you're not taking care of your tickets.
And that when I was doing on payments, I was working, but then I have doctor's notes of saying that I was gone for like 3 months. And I'm like, yeah, like 3 to 4 months. And I couldn't pay him, so I went back up there, and they told me that they're going to give me community service.
And that's what we did.
Yeah, and when I was fixing to start going, my car broke down again, and I couldn't go back up there to court to let them know, and then my phone got disconnected.
Are you still working at Amazon?
Yes, ma'am. I just started a couple weeks ago.
Here's the problem, sir. This is about the 4th bite at the apple for you on these tickets. So I'm about done. Okay. You owe $1,566. I don't feel that you've made a good faith effort to resolve your fines and court costs. I'm going to give you 1-day jail credit. I am going to remand you to the Chief of the Police of City of Amarillo until your fines and costs are paid in full. Too many bites at the apple, sir. Okay.
Well, I have the money actually.
Then you can pay it. That's certainly great.
Yes.
If you have the money, it's 1,566 minus the 150. So whatever that is.
1416.
I was just doing it, Maria. Thank you. 1416 is your balance, so you can pay that up at the. You just tell the deputy you want to pay out, and they'll have you pay out. Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Lopez, you have a lot of responsibilities. So, so that you're not spending the night in jail and making your mother, who you say is already not in best health.
Yes.
Right? Making her worry more. You know, when you get a ticket, and I guess you're going to get tickets for the way you drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not. Maybe let's try not to do that. But if you're going to get tickets, you got to have to take care of them the right way, okay?
Yeah, I was starting to do it, but then I was trying to outbeat them before they could get me. That's why, but.
You were trying to beat the police last night?
No, not like that. I was trying to save up money.
What?
I was trying to save up money so I can go up there to pay them, because I know they turned into warrants.
So you just have to keep up your communication with us. We could have, before they'd gone to warrant, that first month, November 26th, when you knew you weren't going to get your community service done. Thank you, Maria. Then when you know that, you need to come up here and go, okay, I just can't do community service. I've got this and this and this going on. Can you please put me back on a payment plan?
That's what I was going to do. But like I said, I didn't have a car or a phone, and my aunts, I couldn't call my aunts or my cousins to take me. I had nobody to take me, but I couldn't call nobody. I couldn't go nowhere. I couldn't.
You were stuck in your house?
Yes.
How'd you go for how long?
For like maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
You had time. You had time. You could have come up here. I'm not going to buy that, Mr. Lopez. Where there's a will, there's a way. Okay. Okay. You can go get your money taken care of so you can get out of jail and get back to work.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
Enjoyed the stream. I hope you enjoyed everything. I will be back live tomorrow. Don't forget Donations are always appreciated to make it better. We hit 3 hours. I can't believe it. It went by so fast. I enjoy every minute with you guys. I'll be back tomorrow and I'm dropping videos. I also have the conclusion of the polyruple. Thank you so much. I will see you tomorrow.